Hey guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, remember to leave a like and or follow us depending on where you're watching. Also, if you're feeling generous, why not recommend us to a friend? You can check this show out as well as any other shows of the Power Up podcast out on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you love listening to podcasts. Also, we are looking at having a couple of big names on the show for interviews, so if you have anyone you want us to chat to, let us know in the comments below or join our community Discord group. All links are in the description below. Thanks for listening, and we hope to catch you in the next Power Up podcast.
Hello everyone, there we go. Couldn't hit a button properly. Hello everyone and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 87, being recorded live on September 14th, 2019. I'm your host, Taylor Evans, and this week I'm of course joined by Anthony Dennis. How are you?
Not too bad, in a bit of pain, but doing okay.
Oh, okay. Alright, solid morning.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
What have you been up to this past week, gaming-wise?
I've been playing quite a lot this week, actually. So I've been playing some Sea of Thieves. I quickly uninstalled that because it was rather repetitive and boring.
Brutal.
And also, yeah, it's not a good game in my opinion. A lot of people play it. I've been watching Tim the Tatman and whatnot play through it a little bit, and just on his YouTube videos and stuff, and it looks very fun. If you've got multiple people to play with, in a sense. And if you can kind of nail down people to play with constantly and repetitively, then it seems like a good game. But even then, like, there's only basically two things that you can do, and that's basically dig up chests and hunt, like headhunt people, and that's it. Little like skeletons. So it's still pretty shallow. Aside from that, been playing some Black Flag. Got back into that because I wanted some pirate kind of stuff.
Nice.
So jumped back into that and I played a couple of hours of it. Been playing some Call of Duty 2, finished that off yesterday, I think it was. Been playing through all the old Call of Duties and have now moved on to Modern Warfare. Because I haven't played any of the Call of Duties on PC, and I haven't played a lot of the Call of Duties in general, so I'm going to be running through all of them until Modern Warfare, basically. The new Modern Warfare. And also, what else have I been playing? Can't remember. I haven't really been PS4 gaming that much at all, really. Downloaded a couple of new things, but I haven't really jumped in. Also downloaded Ark as well, Ark Survival Evolved.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
Is that on sale somewhere? So have yet to play that. My PC was installing it last night and it was taking forever. It took like 4 hours to install 26 gigs, so that was a fail. So probably going to jump into that later on today. And aside from that, that's kind of it from me this week, I'd say.
You know, Arch does this really annoying thing when it updates on PC, that it validates and overwrites all the other files.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's
right.
It's kind of fun. All right, Andrew Duron, your course here. Welcome back, as usual.
Hi.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good. You hand anyone's ass to them in Tekken lately?
You know, I have been playing Tekken lately. Season 3 came out. It's been fun. My character got a buff.
Oh.
So I'm feeling pretty good about it. I
Nice.
mean, he was always pretty good. He didn't need the buff, so whatever. I don't know why they did it, but I'll take it. And yeah, you know, climbing my way back up, trying to remember how to play that game. It's really fun.
Okay.
Of course, you know, very aggravating at the same time when you play competitive games. But yeah, Tekken 7, Season 3, play it, good stuff. New character's out. I haven't tried her yet. She's weird. I fought against her.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not a fan of fighting against her. Not yet, at least. And then I've been playing some more Remnant from Ashes. That game remains to be cool. I'm like at a spot where it's like, it seems like I'm timed now. It's really weird. I don't know. This game is weird. Where like, I go in this place, it like scans me. It's like, oh, you have a curse. And then my health is just ticking down. So I'm like, ah! So very stressful. and not a game I want to just like chill out to, unfortunately. Like
Fair
most
enough.
of that game has been like I can throw a podcast on and shoot some stuff.
Yeah.
Feel good about it. Now I'm like, nope, I need to like focus completely. So it's been a little bit on the back burner. Other than that, I'm looking forward. I installed it this morning. I actually went on a nice hike today, so I've been kind of not in the house.
Okay.
But that Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta is out on PS4.
Ooh.
So I do want to jump back into there, play some 2v2 and some the 6v6, I think it is.
What do you have to do to get into the beta?
So now you just have to own a PS4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so before, like yesterday and Thursday, you had to pre-order the game.
Yeah.
But now it's just if you have a PS4, you can just play it.
Okay.
So if you're at all interested in that game, you might as well download it and try it out. And I could be wrong, but I want to say you might actually be able to plug a mouse and keyboard into that PS4 and play it on there.
Okay.
However, I also will say that I think like when you change that option in your like settings, it puts you into like a different queue.
Oh, I heard a little bit about that actually.
Yeah, so I think that's how they're gonna handle it. So like, oh, you're playing, controller on your PC, will put you with other controller players, PC or wherever. Playing with mouse and keyboard, same thing. Like we're just gonna throw you in with the other mouse and keyboard users. So that's pretty neat, actually.
Okay. Yeah. So for those curious, Modern Warfare beta schedule: PS4 for people that pre-order were September 12th through 13th, specifically, and then it's like open beta from 14th to 16th. Obviously, if you pre-order, you would still have the open beta. And PC and Xbox One for people that pre-ordered September 19th and 20th. So next week, it looks like, and all platforms open beta September 23rd through 23rd. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll wait another week just so to do it on PC. See how maybe get an idea of how it'll run roughly, how it'll look. Yeah. And my preferred control scheme, or might dig out an old keyboard and mouse and sit on my lap with a mouse keyboard PS4. But okay, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exciting. But that's it. That's pretty much been it. Not too much this week.
All right, and Mike Soul, you're our fourth seed again. How are you?
Always happy to be back. Always happy to be here, and doing pretty well so far this week.
Okay.
Lots of good times to be had, I suppose I could say.
Yeah. All right. What's been some highlights this past week for you?
Nothing but Iceborne, my friend. Nothing but Iceborne.
When did that drop? When did that drop?
That dropped last week or last Friday. So basically during the off times I've had from work, and then after I get off of work, it's been nothing but Iceborne. And I have not finished the game yet. I've just been having like so much of a blast just fighting all the monsters, going through, checking out the new mechanics, and it's like, if you were to look up the definition of what an expansion in a game should be, Monster Hunter World Iceborne is basically that perfect of an expansion, I would say.
Okay.
But besides that, though, the only other thing of note would, of course, be the other game that came out yesterday, which was Borderlands 3.
Dear God,
I haven't dove too far into it, and we'll be mentioning that again in a bit. But, I mean, so far for the tiny bit that I was playing for last week, or yesterday, I should say, that was just, it's been good so far. I haven't really gone too far into it, only got all characters up to level 3. Probably could have done it much quicker if I could have skipped the opening cutscene, but apparently you can't do that, so... Oh well.
Cool. Game seems amazing.
I mean, again, I'll probably be able to maybe talk about it in bigger lengths at a later time, but for right now, Iceborne has my full undivided attention.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's see. This past week for me, what have I been... Okay, I've been playing a game that's up for review. Whose name actually escapes me right now.
I played this game that I was reviewing. The name is slipping my mind at the moment.
WRC8, isn't it? Is that it?
I think, yeah, you're correct. Yeah. Okay, you are correct. I can't remember the exact acronym, sorry. Okay, hello, Rubba Duck 7100, welcome back, I remember you. Anyway. Oh, it's you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Testing out the chat.
My bad. Okay, anyway. They changed how Slobs captures the Mixer chat. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted there. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of that. I'm gonna try and get the review up Monday or Tuesday. It's looking like so. Should be finished. I think I'll have a sufficient grasp of the game, be able to write something up about it. So yeah, it's pretty fun so far. It's like, I guess I'd bet like it's even more arcadey Forza for what I've been getting out of it. Here's what it kind of plays like. So, all right, anyway, but yeah, look forward to that full review. And then past that, gone back into Cities Skylines and everything. I actually kind of went, I found like this like total conversion mod pack that has like 850 mods and like asset replacements and everything. And so it's like, it takes like 10 minutes to load into game, but at the same time, everything else is like replaced. So it's been kind of fun messing around with that. I know, it's ridiculous.
Too many mods.
Too many mods.
What game is that for again?
Cities Skylines.
Oh no.
Yeah. Never
no.
Never enough mods. Never enough mods. And then, yeah, I've been playing a little bit more of Total War Shogun 2. That game's fun. Still kind of learning it, though. But, yeah, getting into it. Anyway, so our Facebook, or I'm sorry, our main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com, and you are listening to the Power Up Podcast. Our Facebook for both the main site, or we have two Facebooks rather. The main site is facebook.com/cod.net, COGDOTNET, and the one for the podcast is facebook.com/powerpod. And then we have a community Discord, a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, although you do have to scroll down a little bit where the sidebar appears, because we have it grouped with where like the list of articles are. And everything. Anyway, click the link, hop into our Discord server, say hi. You can chat with everyone you see on the podcast here. And then Twitter at COGDOTNET, Instagram at Culture of Gaming, YouTube.com/Culture of Gaming, Twitch.tv/Culture of Gaming. You'll probably only find us there when Mitzer is down now. And Mitzer, Mitzer.com/culture_of_gaming. And the podcast is recorded live on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Mitzer channel. Anyway, so jumping right into the gaming news, a tiny little event has been happening this past week. You might have heard of it. It's called the Tokyo Game Show. And, well, there have been a lot of games shown off, especially by Sony and everything. So just to kind of run through some of the highlights, at least that I found. If anyone wanted to bring in some highlights, then feel free, of course. Yakuza, Like a Dragon. They dropped a story trailer. It was like 3 minutes long or so. And we also know that it's going to be a turn-based combat system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, although I don't think we've seen the combat system yet, have we?
I think I have seen a certain portion of it that was great.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have seen anything else of it.
Best I've seen has just been screenshots of what the combat will look like.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Which, yeah, it's definitely turn-based, that's for sure, but...
Yeah, have you guys played other
who knows
Yakuza
how
games?
crazy
Yeah,
the combat itself will be, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting that they decided to change it up, but it makes sense. There's been a bunch of those games, so...
I think this will be like the 8th or 9th one.
It depends on like what you want to count. Like you want to count
Okay.
Judgment as like a Yakuza game.
Yeah.
Or not.
You want to count the zombie game as
yeah,
part of the
okay.
Yakuza series.
Yeah.
Fist of the North Star, because the voice actor is basically the exact same lead.
It's pretty much the same thing, right? Yeah. So there's a ton of like in that style. That makes sense for the turn-based stuff. But everyone has to look this up. This is fantastic. They have summons in the game. I don't know if you've seen this part of it.
No, this is...
I don't know that. I don't know.
Does a car just drive in and just run over the opposition?
It's way better. Guy whips out his phone, like hits somebody on his phone, and he's like going crazy. And then he picks a lobster, and this like all these lobsters come down, and this lobster's like yeah, and then the guy just gets beat up by a lobster. It's fantastic.
Does the crab raid start playing?
I don't know what that is.
Okay,
but
never mind.
It's a lobster. It's not a crab.
Does the crustacean rave start playing?
No, but it's so good. Everyone needs to look up the lobster summon in Yakuza 7.
Yeah.
7, right? Yeah. It's so good. Oh my god, that game is I don't even like turn-based strategy, but the silliness of that is already just being like, yep, all right, I'm in.
All right, yep, solid. Yeah, I didn't remember seeing something on Twitter earlier this week when that came out. It was just like, this is what Yakuza summons will look like. I was like, okay, maybe I'll look at it later.
No, it's good.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Andrew, you're looking forward to this. Yeah, I've only played 1 or 2 Yakuza games. I've played Kiwami or Kawakami or whatever, and Yakuza 0, like the remake.
Yes.
Okay. And
that's exactly what I played.
Yeah, okay. But no, this game looks fun. Fun. Okay.
I actually really want to pick up Kiwami 2 because it's like got a better engine than 0 and 1. Kiwami 1. So, like, I think that'll get me more on board with the game because like Kiwami 2 has like the engine of 6, so it's just better. And then they have that not new, but that is it the collection? It's like 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And it's like not HDified because it was PS3 games, but they're just slowly bringing them over. I don't think you could get some of them localized. I don't think they had them all sent over to the United States.
Okay.
Well, at least easily. Like I don't think you could play 3 very easily or 4 or 5. I'm not sure which one it was, but I think a couple of them were pretty hard to find.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, Anthony, Mike, you guys looking forward to Like a Dragon at all?
I mean, to be honest, I haven't played any Yakuza games. I've always wanted to. I actually got into Sleeping Dogs because I wanted to try Yakuza because I already owned that, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of similar. Turns out it's nothing like it. But I definitely want to get into the Yakuza games. I just never have gotten around to it. This looks fantastic. I haven't been able to find the summons bit in the trailer yet, but I'm looking for it. It looks awesome, like all the different activities and whatnot that you can do, like go-kart racing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like something that I would enjoy, so I've got to get into the Yakuza games, definitely.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah, my only touch with the Yakuza games has just been the aforementioned Fist of the North Star, because I don't usually play on the PS4 that often, so I know I'm definitely missing out, but if the Fist of the North Star is how the Yakuza games normally work, mind you, of course, obviously, some leniencies here and there, but other than that, though, I mean, I had lots of fun with the game, and I would say that if it was my means of being able to dive into the Yakuza series, count me interested.
And 7 is like a new protagonist and everything, so if you're like super worried about like jumping in number 7, I think it's going to be a different story and all that good stuff. So
yeah. Oh, it's weird because like I don't know, it's like Sega is really, really hit or miss with their games, but occasionally they can put out a decent title. Kind of like Capcom, it's like they've had a string of pretty good games lately, haven't they? Like
lately they've been on fire.
Lately they've been solid.
Yeah.
Well, they've been on fire outside of another game that just recently got announced, which I may save that for a bit later on. Just to get your guys' opinion on it.
Okay, I think that game looks cool. Okay.
Wait, which game?
Well,
The new Resident Evil game, I'm assuming.
Yeah. What's it called?
I don't want to derail the topic on Yakuza too much, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone has their thoughts on that, but I'll save it for when we get to there. And get to that.
Okay. All right. Shenmue 3. Does anyone care about Shenmue 3?
No.
It's okay. No one else does either.
That game will be bad.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so shall we then talk about Resident Evil then, for just a short bit?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was this at TGS or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had a little
Project Resistance.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
where I saw that from. Okay, got it.
Yeah, they had a trailer a couple days, like a basic trailer, and then
Yeah, it just kind of dropped before the Tokyo Game Show started, so
and then
technically
now
it
they
does
have.
count.
Well, now they actually they let people play it and stuff like that, so you can find
Yeah.
some impressions on like Game Informer and maybe some other sites too as well.
Okay.
But basically, it's kind of like, you remember that Fable game that got canceled?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like that, where they're gonna have 4 people playing as like these different characters with different skills, and then there's a dungeon master, and they're gonna be like putting down enemies and stuff like that too, and like controlling the tyrants and stuff like that to like stop people from escaping.
So it's like kind of like a Hunger Games, but in a horror setting. Like you're a game maker in a sense.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's
Well,
like,
it's more like that.
is anyone
It's
familiar
like-
with like Arma
Think of
3
it like
Zeus?
Saw, but in Saw, the
Okay.
mastermind is just sending out monsters and can control them. That's probably a better way to put it.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing the trailer here. It's like a dude. It's like behind some monitors, like aimed a turret at.
Yeah, but here's the other thing that is also catching a few people off guard. Apparently, our main antagonist is French.
So
Fascinating.
French Albert Wesker. People have been dubbing the character because it's like, how completely random. I mean, nothing wrong with the character being French, but it's like when you hear the person start talking and taunting the survivors, it's like, okay, why is there a reason why the character is French? I mean, because it seems like, why exactly would this be the case, or, let alone the actual story behind this of why you have, these 4 random people, or effectively random people, being brought in together.
I don't know, like I feel like they're like British people and French people always are like evil in these movies and like,
Right, exactly.
Just everybody European isn't
Yeah.
evil.
Like you notice how all the Imperials in Star Wars are like British.
all like the
Exactly.
Bond villains are always. Oh, is Bond?
Yeah,
I don't
Bond's
even know.
British also.
Okay, well yeah.
I mean,
There
that
was
kind of
at
makes
least
sense.
1
though.
or 2 Americans, but that's beside the point.
Nah. We're Gucci.
If they are, they're always like the Texas. That's always the thing. Like with
It's like the
forgot what the
Southerner
Northern
Texas.
nationality
yeah,
was
Texan or like some
It's
funny,
like
yeah.
Matt and I looked at Maneater, which is a game at E3, which is a game where you control a shark and just trying to wreak havoc.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one.
And it's just like all you kill are like Southern people, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, though. But yeah, the reason why I'm a bit hesitant is that everyone was thinking that this, because obviously this was being teased for a while before we found out it was Project Resistance. But the teasers that were being put out there, everyone thought that this was going to be Resident Evil Outbreak, the sequel. AKA the only good multiplayer Resident Evil game, because Raccoon City was,
Bad.
lack of a better way to put it, bad. Well, no one dares speak about the travesty that was Umbrella Corps.
Yeah, that one.
So it's like, and right now that it does look like it does seem to be taking a few tidbits maybe from Resident Evil 2 Remake, maybe, or at least at the very least something similar to that. But it's like, once everyone saw what the game was, there were a lot of mixed first opinions on it, because it's like, okay, is this going to be good? Is this just going to be another gimmick? Has Capcom, after releasing Monster Hunter World, Devil May Cry 5, and I forgot what else, but after the streak that Capcom's had, is this really going to be how the train derails, essentially? It's hard to say if that's going to be the case or not.
I know, it's like, I'd like to say, it's like, I don't understand how Capcom could go out from putting like DMC 5 and like Monster Hunter World and Iceborne out into this, but then BioWare exists, so yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, also if they just take a lot of the gameplay stuff from RE2, it's pretty, like, that game plays really well and feels really good. So like,
yeah, even Resident Evil 2, I forgot that also came out this year.
Yeah. So like that, if they take that same engine, then they use basic, the same gameplay style, and they just add multiplayer, and they added a little asynchronous, or not asynchronous, I guess, but like 4v1. I don't know,
Sure.
Whatever you want to call it. Then it could be great. I mean, maybe the 4v1 part is not fun, but I'm pretty sure they're up to. They've been talking like, oh, we're open to feedback and stuff like that. So I mean. And they have the potential of like adding new survivors. Like, hey, the survivor's good with guns. The survivor's good with melee, and then they could just go crazy with it.
This one could hack the cameras.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? But then they could get even if they really wanted to, right? I mean,
I kind of think this is actually a good idea, because it kind of makes sense to have like a horror Resident Evil kind of multiplayer setting. So you never know, it might be really good, it might be fun.
First one in a very long time that will be good. That's what people are hoping for, because like I said,
sure.
Outbreak was as closest to a good multiplayer Resident Evil that we got. And that was, way back in the day when we were just trying to get online multiplayer to actually cooperate.
I think a problem what came with that is the there was no way to communicate very well. Like you had gestures and stuff like that. So like the olden the PS2, like you're like gesturing, like go here, wait, all that stuff, like, it's such a pain.
It wasn't perfect, but at least it was, people were saying it was the better attempt than Raccoon City and Umbrella Corps.
Oh, of course, yeah, but I mean,
by long shots.
If you just add in some some decent communication stuff, maybe I don't know, I'm sure this might be in the details, like a pinging system,
like Apex Legends level pinging system.
You can ping ammo, ping zombies, stuff like that. It's something that people who don't want to wear might.
Help me, I'm getting choked out over here.
Well, I'm sure a big
like
thing will happen. Like when you played RE5 and your partner got in trouble, you did have the big red thing.
Oh yeah, it's like the HUD would pop up or whatever.
Yeah, right. So I have no doubt that this can be good. So
Well, I mean, it can be good, but will it be good? That's the question.
I mean, that's the question of every video game. I mean, to be honest, right?
Of course. It's just that, like I said before, that just right now it's just kind of, many people are just putting it in an uphill battle considering the history. But, if it turns out to be good, then, all the more power to you. You were able to do something that Evolve failed to do in some degree. Also,
I feel like this is like a big streaming game. Like maybe Capcom is trying to take advantage of like this, like, hey, like get some friends together. We're going to stream it. Like I have 4 famous big time streamers all on the same team, create some fun rivalries. Like it's got a lot of opportunity for weird stuff.
It's like 4v1 Dr. Disrespect or something.
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah. Like especially like someone like that who I probably has no idea how to play games like this.
Right.
So it could be super interesting.
It seems like to be like decent intermits between communities there, you know?
Mhm,
Just
yeah,
like,
definitely.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure Resident
we'll
Evil
see.
streamers or
we'll
YouTubers
see how that
exist,
plays
so
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Big one, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Episode 1 at least. New trailer, and I just want to send a message to all the Aerith stands that are out there. Tifa is best girl, and will always be best girl. Anyway, past that, game looks pretty, game looks gorgeous. Yeah, just like, we didn't really get much else past that, you know? They did a, it's like, I think, at E3, Square Enix showed off like 45 some odd minutes of it, and everything. They went pretty in depth.
It's like half an hour, I think.
Okay, yeah, it's like, so I think it's like, we got a pretty good idea from that.
Length.
Yeah, there's not much more we can really gather from anything else, you know?
Yeah,
So,
well,
but
the
yeah.
best that they did in terms of new stuff was just showing off an additional boss, but
Okay.
or yeah, well, an additional boss that showed off Tifa in action and Aerith in action, but also we got to see Ifrit in action as well. So
Okay.
it was like not too much, but then at the same time, it's like whenever you see something new from the game, it's like it grabs your head, forces you in front of the screen, and say, "Watch it." Because
I
yeah,
don't
no,
know,
the
this-
gameplay has been very interesting up to this point, and there's one other thing too, but I'll mention that here in a moment.
Okay, Anthony, what are you gonna say?
I mean, it's. I don't really see why they even need to show any more off of it. To be honest, like it's a remake. It's Final Fantasy VII. It's got cool graphics. Yay.
I mean, they're changing the whole combat system.
Yeah.
So that,
And it's not
Yeah,
I mean, they
like,
showed that off a lot at E3 though, because they showed that whole boss battle.
right.
yeah.
of
Well,
that
yeah, but they
map.
didn't
It's
show
not
another thing though that was actually shown at the Tokyo Game Show, because for the people who are complaining and saying, "Oh, but this isn't the Final Fantasy VII I remember. It should be turn-based." Well, guess what they showed off? Turn-based combat.
Okay.
That, you know, if you want to, the characters during fights, they'll go ahead and run around and do whatever. But it's like they won't attack until you tell them to start attacking. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can do this too if you want. But
mean,
it's like, you know, obviously the game was made to be an action-based rather than a turn-based. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be turn-based, the option's open for you. Have fun, I guess.
Yeah, no, I kind of dislike just like how it's like people were saying it's like, oh, it's not turn-based or whatever, but it's just like this isn't supposed to be an exact like carbon copy of Final Fantasy VII with just prettier graphics. It's like
Let's go play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that, of course. That's the other thing we have to bear in mind. They didn't need to do this classic mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did it anyway because, you know, for the fans. And
Fan-based,
that's kind of the biggest thing that you could say about this game, that this is a game by the fans for the fans.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's like I'm somewhat excited about this game and whatnot. You know, it looks kind of good, but it's like the one thing that's weird to me about it still is the episodic format they're doing
That's
it
what I was
into.
gonna say.
And it's like
Yeah.
with the length that it's taken just to get here, and I don't know, maybe the rest of the episode down they got kind of the flow down, and it's like most of the assets created probably at this point and whatnot, and actually have a clear direction. Because I guarantee you, when this game was first shown off in 2015, it was not the same direction as it has now. But maybe the episodes will come out faster. But like this is gonna be like the entire Final Fantasy VII remake is gonna span a console generation here.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
it's gonna dip into the PS5 pretty hard.
I hope you're excited in 2030 to
Yeah,
finish
it's-
this. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's kind of the thing as well, I'm kind of over, in a sense, is this whole episodic thing, and I don't know, when I first saw this at E3, I haven't obviously played the original Final Fantasy VII. I have tried to, but failed. When I first saw this at E3, I was very excited for it. But then I've seen like all this stuff with the whole controversy that's been happening and all that kind of stuff as well. I'm just over it.
controversy.
Just get it, exactly. Just get it out. Don't show any more of it. Yeah, but
God.
Well, I mean,
Don't
they
show any
kind of
more
have
of
to
it.
show just a bit more because March is still a good 6 months out
away,
still.
yeah.
So it's like, you got to keep the people interested. So don't be shocked once we get to the Tokyo, or not the Tokyo Game Show, the Game
Gamescom.
Awards show, that we do go
yeah,
ahead to
Game
see
I just
at least one more trailer.
like,
in
what do you
December.
show? But like, what do you show?
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
the
Well, there's still
story,
plenty to show still.
the story is already written. Like, right? Like, if they're gonna do a piece by
People
piece,
want to see a fat man get stabbed in the back by a large katana.
why don't they just wait for the game to come out then?
precisely. This is the thing. This is the issue that here we go. Here's a bitch mode coming in.
Here we go.
This
Rant,
is the
rant,
thing.
rant, rant.
Rant time. This is the thing with modern games that I hate now. They show too much. They show far too much. Look at Smash.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at blinking Death Stranding. I feel they're showing far too much of that. Just put the game out.
I mean, you don't have to
Surprise
watch
people.
it to be fair.
No,
I know,
no.
but still, like you come across stuff on Reddit,
Yes.
not Reddit, Twitter.
Twitter.
You know, you come across all this different stuff.
that they want you to see.
There is just so much in my mind that like there's just so much death of like I don't
Surprise.
know.
So much
Death of surprise, death of hype. It's just you just die, you just get over these games so quickly nowadays.
Well, you know what?
It's just-
Speaking of death,
Surprise people.
no.
Yeah.
Good
Speaking of
segue,
death,
good segue.
yeah,
Yeah.
Death
Surprise
Stranding
people more.
got shown off. Now, are we done with Final Fantasy VII? Anything else?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
I mean, we're
Alright,
looking forward
yes,
to it,
please.
but it's like at this point, it's like, you know, anything that they show, we already kind of have a good idea. So unless if they decide to showcase Red or,
Okay.
you know, show like just how far the actual episode 1 is going to go, like if it's going to end at Midgard or if it goes beyond
I think
that.
they've detailed it's ending at Midgard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, it's like, considering how the trailer ended, we kind of know that if they're going to show anything off, it's just going to be at the giant tower and that's it. So, you know, hard to say where we go from there.
You guys,
Anyway, this Stranding.
yeah, you guys think this will be like a 3-episode ordeal? Do you think that'll be a solid number they go for?
Oh no.
I feel like it's going to be 5, honestly.
Dear God.
If they do
Yeah,
more than
brace
3.
yourself. We're going to be in it.
If they do more than 3, it's probably not gonna go.
What about
to-
7? Because Final Fantasy 7? I don't know.
I mean, it's a $60 game,
That's
right?
a
It's
stretch.
$60,
Yeah.
right?
I'm just saying, it's just like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, 180 would seem a reasonable
How much?
price for
How
the
much
whole-
is each episode?
$60. It's
Yeah,
a
these are
$60
supposed
game.
to be like full games. Yeah. These are supposed to be like full individual games that all kind of have like
wow.
an interconnected
So yeah,
of the
like
same game. though.
you can't do more than 3 and expect people not to be not
that's
happy.
why I'm
like you
thinking.
know, at a
Yeah.
certain point, people are like, okay, like,
Oh, dude,
what,
this is ridiculous.
what is
dude.
the
Come on.
arbitrary cutoff? You know,
Yeah,
from,
this is
from
ridiculous.
the game. So
And can you imagine they
Unless
just
they're
keep,
trying
like,
to appeal.
what?
Unless they're trying to appeal to new gamers every single time, like for each episode. Like the way I kind of see them doing this is kind of having episode 1 as the whole of Final Fantasy 7, and then kind of branching out from there, like having like extra side quests, you know, in a completely different episode, kind of like what an MMO does in a sense.
Also have like
That could
expansions
kinda be
iterating
one
on
way.
the game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like
Well, it's
that
like you
kind
go
of
through the
thing.
whole of Final Fantasy VII. It's like you're down a significant character by the end or two. So it's just like trying
True.
to build expansion off that.
and you can you can miss characters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 characters you could miss.
Ooh.
If you chose to.
Okay.
I choose to now.
Well, one of them I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
one of them steals all
takes
your
a-
stuff, so you kind of have no choice there.
one of them- I think one of them takes a while to get to.
Mm.
Yeah, you're not
Okay.
going to see those 2 characters in the first episode if that's the...
No, we did see the lady, I believe.
Well, yeah, we saw 2 ladies, but neither of... but we're not going to see the ninja lady.
We did see her.
What?
Yes.
I feel like Mike not seeing her just adds to the fact that she's a ninja lady.
I don't know her name. I don't know her name.
Okay.
Yuffie.
Oh, Yuffie? Okay.
Yeah, she was in the last trailer.
Yeah. She was
Okay, I must have missed that then.
Yeah, she's there.
Swear she was there. Yeah.
I guess I blinked and she just flashed
Who
me down.
cares?
No. Okay. Although
The
Anthony, I
viewers,
do.
Anthony, the viewers care.
Anthony, I do kind of agree with you. It's just like, yeah, you know, they do show a lot of games. Like a
Yeah.
lot of games where they come out and everything. You know, I was critical of Smash Brothers for doing that last year. Pretty hard on the
Do
record.
more Apex Legends launches. Nobody had a clue about that, and then all game launching in 2 days. What's it gonna be? That was exciting.
I don't know
EA
what
did
this-
that. They did it again. EA did that similar stuff again with that Plants vs Zombies thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
I mean, who
completely
wanted
forgot
that,
about
but
I've
anyway.
actually been-
Yeah.
Hey, I think those games are fine.
I hate
Yeah.
to admit it, I love Garden Warfare. Garden
Yeah.
Warfare is like a guilty pleasure game, and I'm actually thinking of getting the $30 early buy-in just to start playing that.
Yeah.
Games are totally serviceable.
Yeah. All right. It's fine. I don't know. At the same time, though, it's just like sure, it's like Apex Legends had a hype launch, but then you know, kind of fizzled and plateaued out after like 2 or 3 months. So
Yeah.
But whether or not, I don't know, at the same time, though, whether or not that's due to is just like Respawn not capitalizing on what they had, which is a fair criticism. Anyway, that's a whole little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. And
Well, they
then-
tried to capitalize on it, but it kind of backfired on them significantly.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
greedy.
I hold to this
There's
day
a lot
that's-
of stuff that happened probably there.
Yeah, I hold to this day that's like Respawn didn't quite anticipate how much it would blow up. So
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. And then it's like, Andrew, it's like, with your counter argument towards Anthony, it's like, oh, you don't have to see it. It's like, also, it's like, yeah, also true, but it's like, then, it's like when you're discussing games each week on a podcast, it's like, it might be relevant discussion
it
because...
is different if you're, working in the industry and you're like, okay, it's my due diligence to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Or at least part of it.
Being a worker or being a player.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't go that
far in regards to that.
I wouldn't go that far. I just think, if you're sitting here talking about it, it's your job to be informed on certain things, and whether or not you engage in that is up to you. So I mean, I didn't watch the Death. Well, I'm gonna do it. We're going Death Stranding.
Yeah,
they showed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, let's go. That's another argument. Anyway, so Death Stranding.
Stuff happened.
Yes, I didn't watch the 50-minute thing.
I did.
Because I personally was like, hey, this is a long time. I don't want to sit here and watch 50 minutes of this. So I'm just going to be surprised when this game comes out. If I'm riding a skateboard down a hill for 30 minutes, I hope that skateboard controls well, so.
I watched it.
Brakes on it.
No, I don't know. I watched it while I was cooking something. The other night when it dropped, and it was like I don't know, I didn't get much more out of it than when we got the trailer, I think for Gamestop, or no, I think it was for E3 or something. I don't know. It was a trailer that dropped a few months back when we saw like a little bit of gameplay in like the trenches or whatever.
I think that was
like
E3.
Okay, it might have been. Yeah, but it's just like I didn't get much more out of it besides that. It's just like I already kind of figured from that like let's just call it the E3 trailer how the loop would kind of be, and it's just like but I'm still buying the game. It's like I'm still game looks great still. I guess the big thing is although I think with this gameplay trailer that Kojima showed off, because I follow him on Twitter, he talked about how it was just like, he kind of made it sterilized and not really given context in the story and like reduced any sort of story elements that might be in it.
Sure,
so
that spoiler stuff.
Yeah.
Look, the biggest detail for this, in my opinion, this is the only thing I've seen on it. If you zoom in, apparently, somehow, on Sam's crutch area, he punches you in the face.
Nice.
Yeah. Punches the camera.
Yeah.
Punches the camera there.
Kojima likes those little details.
Yeah.
The bladder meter.
The ability to bathe Norman Reedus in the like a river.
This game looks so weird, and I don't know. Like, I watched the 50 minutes. I still have no idea what's happening.
It's okay. Neither does Kojima.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even need to watch the 50 minutes then. Like, if you don't know what's happening, I won't know what's happening. So I'm just gonna keep myself sheltered and just like when I see the stuff, I'm like, cool, this is cool or not cool. Maybe it sucks. I don't know.
Didn't he say something about this as well? That he's gonna keep releasing like video footage because he loves like gameplay footage because he loves doing it, and he doesn't care what people think. He's just gonna keep doing it.
That's possible. I remember him saying like, "Hey, you shouldn't watch this trailer if you trust me." Like, and I was like, that's a weird thing.
Okay.
It's not that we don't trust you, it's just that sometimes you go a little bit too big and eventually you go over 21.
It's like, what budget did you...
You need to stand. You don't need to keep hitting.
No one says no to him, I feel like, so he just does whatever the hell he wants.
I kind of think it's like, also, I think he's kind of bored at this point, because like the game is more or less finalized, and he's not exactly like a programmer or anything.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't think he has anything better to do at this point besides just...
Yeah, we're just less than 2 months out from the game, so you know, don't be shocked if he decides like, I don't want to wait another 2 months. Here's some more gameplay footage. Have fun analyzing.
Imagine if he just like drops it next month or something, and be like, Sony wanted me to release it in November or whatever. I said October.
He's just a face at this point, having like getting celebrities in the studio to scan their face and.
Yeah. You guys see Jeff Keighley is gonna be?
Yeah, he was in the was that Gamescom?
Yeah, it was that
was
Gamescom. Yeah.
Everyone's like speculating every time like he posts a picture on like Twitter. Like, oh man, they probably scanned him. It's like Sakurai or whatever. Yeah. Probably scanned him. Like,
Yeah.
He's probably right though. He probably did.
Maybe. Yeah. To imagine if like Sakurai appeared in Death Stranding as like a villain or something, it'd be insane.
Or just like a side quest person. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Could do.
Yeah.
They have that technology.
Sakurai will play the man who is so very tired and just wants to sleep, but he can't.
He's like, I really need you to deliver those sleeping pills. It's really
the sleepless man.
He wishes he was the man who died every 22 minutes.
Yeah, you did a quest that's like deliver sleeping pills to a man named Sakurai.
Got the Marvel Avengers biggest crossover. We got the biggest crossover. Randy Pitchford in it. He sends you to deliver his USB drive
to a magician.
To another magician.
Or no, to like his daughter or something. I don't know.
I need to
go to this castle
and pick up my magical cord.
Go to it's this castle thing. It's really weird. I don't know why it exists. Pick up my USB drive from this kid and deliver it back to me.
And don't look in the contents. I need it for magical research.
It's magicians only.
No one has found no one has found a USB drive side quest in Borderlands 3.
I'm sure he would kill somebody if that happened. Like, there's no way.
The person would be fired
over the
before
edge?
he would even go and get on the Twitter. He'd probably be that pissed off with that.
I saw a tweet from him. We can get into this later.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. All right, back to Death Stranding. Yeah, it's a game.
It's nobody
you could
knows
dress up Norman Reedus, you could bathe Norman Reedus, you could watch him shower. It's like, if you're a fan of the guy, this is probably going to be like the perfect video game for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm
perfect
kind of
stalker mode.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in like what other like little detail interactions you would be able to have with the other characters, like they'll be around and whatnot too. Because like I don't know, if you play Metal Gear Solid 5. Or whatever, and it's like you're in the helicopter with your buddy, like for example Quiet, it's like if your bond is low with her and like you stare at her and then it's like gives you a dirty look, but then it's like if your bond is high enough she goes up and like, oh, you want to see this here, and she's all like coy about it anyway. But yeah, just like little interactions like that Kojima is kind of known for in his games. Sure, cool, unique.
I mean the details look amazing. Like, so I am worried about my little base PS4 having trouble with that game, so we'll see, I guess.
Upgrade.
Okay. Your PS4 must be this highly performed to be able to experience Kojima mode.
Dude, that thing sounds like a jet engine running anything now.
Oh, mine does anyway, and mine's like new when I haven't hardly used it.
Well, and I have like cats who sit on it. I'm like, thanks guys for getting all your hair in there. So.
My PS4 Pro is decently loud too, so it's like.
I
think the consoles this generation are
and
pretty
my
loud.
Xbox One is just silence. I have it on right now, and you could barely hear it.
Do you have the X?
Yeah, I have the Xbox One X right here.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I have it on right now, watching it as we speak. So
I've heard the X is extremely quiet, so yeah, that's cool.
Okay. I don't even. It's like I hear my Switch fan sometimes. Like,
in handheld. Yeah, totally.
And sometimes it's like you feel the heat getting radiated off
it just goes.
Yeah. All right. Persona 5 Royal. This is still a game, obviously. We got like a little 2.5-minute trailer for it. And really not much else to say, besides let's just like, well, it's like we're gonna get another, like I would say, 140-hour experience in January, again, when it drops. And it's gonna be like, it's gonna have quite a bit of new content to it, which is good. Good,
that's cool.
Really, I'm just trying to figure out how the story's gonna play out, because if you've played Persona 5 and finished it, you kind of know that you kind of don't do anything between January and February for a very good reason.
Yeah.
So with this being played, well, let's just, or do you want me to spoil it or should I not spoil it?
No.
Okay, but yeah, basically though that, with the way that things finished up at the end of Persona 5 to how it's looking right now, it's really making me question just how exactly the story shaped up or how the story changed to go ahead and allow this to happen. And, I'd love to go to speculate on it more, but again, that kind of dives into spoilers if we try to do that.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Maybe it's just new monster types and stuff like that. Or
I mean, there's a whole new character in it.
Oh, okay.
Also, that's like.
Oh, plenty of new characters.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, there's one like high level one, super high level one. But anyway.
Cool.
Yeah. And then Ghost of Tsushima. Game's been quiet for about 1.5 years now, actually, because last time we saw it was at E3 2018. It's going to get a trailer. It's supposed to get a trailer at TGS today, although we haven't gotten it yet. Although it is worth noting that at the time of recording, it is the last day of TGS because it's September 15th over in Japan right now. But it is like 7, almost 8 in the morning, so it hasn't quite started for the day yet. But yeah. So I wonder what we'll see about that game.
And this say I am reading an article that has said like it probably won't actually get a new trailer.
Oh, it'll just be a.
It goes to a shooter, yes, but an old one, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. What do you guys think is going on with this game? Because like maybe what we saw at E3 2018 was just like a super polished, sterilized demo, or maybe it had some problems during development or something, because I don't know, from when we saw it at 2018, it seemed like it was decently far along, and I believe at the time I pegged it for a 2019 release.
I think they're probably just getting out of the way of Death Stranding. Like,
okay.
these are pretty big-ish games, right? Like,
yeah.
Death Stranding's huge.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima has the potential to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just trying to stay out of each other's way, probably.
Okay. Well, okay, then it's like, if we're gonna go by that logic, which is perfectly valid, don't get me wrong here, but it's just like, are we maybe looking at like a summer release for it or something? Because we probably don't want to get in the way of Final Fantasy VII either next year, you know?
I reckon they'll probably show something at the Game Awards, to be honest. Because they don't really show much there anyway, so that'll probably be the big game for the Game Awards, in my opinion.
That could be, yeah.
Okay.
That way, Death Stranding comes out in October, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, early November, I thought.
Yeah, November, sure. So that way, you know, Death Stranding's out of the way.
November 8th.
They can kind of jump in and do whatever they want then.
Yeah, November 8th for Death Stranding, by the way.
What did they show last year at the Game Awards?
At the Game Awards? Oh, I don't remember.
Quite a bit. I remember Persona 5 Joker. Because like the Smash DLC was still kicking off.
Smash stuff, yeah.
Yeah. There were quite a bit of stuff actually, like miscellaneous things. Although I think most of the games that were shown at the Game Awards all have come and gone at this point.
Yep.
If not a fair majority. I don't remember any sort of super long-term.
Far Cry New Dawn.
Okay, well we
The
got
Outer Worlds.
it's not out. That's
Anthem for some reason.
Huh?
Anthem. I'm trying to figure out if there was any big ones here. Rage 2. Oh, Psychonauts 2. That was another one.
Okay.
That got delayed.
Yeah. Alright, Siri. Alright, Siri.
80s. Yeah, there was a couple of them, but yeah, the majority of them, though, I'd say they were... And they're either out or they're still a while out. So,
Sure.
That's more or less.
Yeah. I don't know, do you think Tsushima will come out at the end of the PS4 cycle, or will this stretch into PS5? What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Feels like it's going to be a
launch
PS5 title, honestly.
PS5 launch?
Yeah, probably.
I could
would
see
make
that.
sense.
If it was a PS4 announcement, they would have shown something, I'm sure, right now. But since we're kind of in that stretch now to thinking that next year is when all the new consoles are going to come out, yeah, it kind of seems like they're going to want to start saving them for being more heavy hitters.
Yeah, I do kind of think the Final Fantasy VII Remake might be the last big game to come out on PS4.
Oh, yeah, this is done by Sucker Punch, isn't it?
Yeah, which is going to be...
I could see it coming out like early-ish next year, like March or so, and then like coming out again on PS5 with like some kind of DLC. Yeah,
easily.
DLC
So they've got
something like that.
Somehow there's been a there's been a PS4 cover art leaked apparently.
Oh,
for Ghost Tsushima.
Okay.
Okay. That checks out. I could see that.
Sure.
Okay, well, I mean, if that was something.
Oh,
and that's the thing as well, because with PlayStation, they've said that the PS4 and the PS5 are going to coexist, so they will still probably release it on PS4 and also PS5, but just have like an upgraded version for PS5.
Yeah. Add some extra characters or extra whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's still being shown for PS4 right now, but you know, won't be shocked at all if we get the announcement that it's also going to be a PS5 launch title, so be ready for that.
Yeah, precisely.
For both that and Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Well, okay, never mind. Okay, no, I see what you mean now. Okay. And then, anything else to say about TGS, or?
Well, I mean, I could take a quick crack at it, because going off for what I was mentioning earlier for Monster Hunter World Iceborne, at around this time we did, a while back ago we got the announcement for the first monster that was going to be coming post-launch, which is the Rajang, which is basically Super Saiyan giant ape that eats unicorn horns for breakfast, because yes, it's that strong.
Nice.
And yeah, if you've played Monster Hunter and know the Rajang, you know that the monster is basically really ridiculous to fight. And it's like, it can literally murder you without even trying by punching you in the face.
Fun.
Yeah. The monster in itself is going to be coming out in October 12th, approximately, I want to say. And they did also highlight a roadmap, which is going to be that, or I don't recall the roadmap off the top of my head, But a second monster is going to be coming a little bit later on, and they have something special planned for the 2-year anniversary of World in March.
Okay,
since
cool.
it would have been a 2-year anniversary, or 2 years since World came out. So that's very exciting to look forward to for sure. At least for me and any of the other hunters that may be watching right now.
Who go around slaughtering innocent beasts who've done nothing wrong.
Hey, no. Those beasts, they screw up the environment so badly. Like right now, the big beast here, if you don't stop the beast, it will freeze the whole new world over. And will just wipe out all life in the new world. So it's like, yeah, no, either we kill it or it kills us. And that's kind of how most of the monster games play. So it's like, yeah, you don't need to feel sorry for them. They kind of need to die to keep balance.
Man, I wish I enjoyed that game.
Hey, it's a very niche game. If it feels too repetitive or overwhelming, I'm not going to hold it against you. But if you enjoy the game, you will get countless hours from it. I already have 1,000, while others have like 3,000 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played one on PSP and gave up.
I got Whirl on Steam.
Played it on PSP.
I got Whirl on Steam and I refunded it. It's like I didn't really like the combat at all.
Fair.
Yeah.
When I play Soul Sacrifice, that's like a similar style game.
Yeah.
But not.
Okay.
I will say another TGS thing is I didn't just all the way through, but 20 minutes of the Outer Worlds. So if you're interested in the Outer World, check that out. It's kind of like boring gameplay according to this article, but that means you're basically seeing like what the game minute to minute actually is instead of like a sizzle reel.
Yeah,
sure.
So that's interesting. It looks a lot like Fallout, but like different like setting and everything. So if you're into Fallout, that's definitely something you should probably look into.
It's Xbox only, isn't it? Xbox
No, it's everything. It's just on Game Pass for PC, for whatever.
Well, I thought the whole thing for the Outer Worlds was that it was the Epic exclusive, and that's kind of where some people drew their criticism with the game.
So there's the Outer Worlds, and there's also a game called the Outer Wilds this year.
Which one is made by Obsidian?
Games need to be named the same.
Outer Worlds is by Obsidian, and it's coming out for everything. I think it is. It might be on Epic.
Oh, please, God, no.
But I know.
Outer Worlds.
But I know I've been seeing.
Is it Epic?
Let's see here. No, this has a Steam page. Oh no, it will be available on Steam 1 year after launch.
Oh.
However,
that's worse.
If you own Xbox Game Pass on PC, you can download it there.
Why not just put it on Steam then?
Because Epic has to make things confusing and stupid.
It's fine. Whatever.
Epic. I already have had your spyware on my computer to review this game. Epic, stop. Anyway,
yeah.
All right. Anyway,
that game looks cool.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about loot boxes, because I enjoy having this conversation every week. Mike, take it away. Oh, what's up?
Well, I mean, this week the conversation actually may be interesting because it seems like that we're actually doing something a bit beneficial this time. So, UK officials, if you recall the story previously, they previously came to the conclusion that while loot boxes weren't technically gambling, they did go ahead and make the suggestion that it does need to be further looked into.
Okay.
And, surprise, surprise, it seems that they have now looked into it, and now we have a situation where US officials are calling for loot boxes to go ahead and be regulated like gambling.
UK?
Because,
or
yes,
UK officials?
UK.
Okay.
Like, previously you had Belgium and the Netherlands saying that loot boxes were unethical and therefore, if your games have them, don't sell them here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is the first big country here to actually be stepping forward to actually say that, something needs to be done. And this is a bipartisan argument too. That's something that the left and the right of the House of
Parliament.
Something. Yeah, the Parliament. That both sides kind of agree that this is kind of BS essentially, and how when they were doing their interviews, when we got the lovely quote of it's not that, it's surprise mechanics, and how they were trying to compare that to the Kinder eggs, as I remember what the term was,
which are banned here in the US, by the way.
Yeah, but
not because of gambling, but because kids would eat the little thing that came in and choke and die.
Yeah, fun time.
Okay.
I'm serious, by the way. Yeah.
So yes, if you go ahead and look at the report, it is online right now. It is expensive, to say the least, because they did actually take testimonials for people who went ahead to spend like, the biggest example here is of course FIFA's Ultimate Team, and how you have people here who spend so much money on it, including someone who spent like 800 to 1,000 pounds a year on this feature. And it's like, yeah, this is a problem. It may not be gambling, but it's taking all the elements of gambling, and all you're doing is just changing the term essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, this has been put forward. Who knows if it's going to go any further than this? But there's a very good possibility to where the UK government, whenever that they get their Brexit squared away, that this will probably be something that's approached, and we could see the UK being the first big country to actually do something about loot boxes.
Fascinating.
So, it's a possibility, and it's kind of hard to say where things are going to go from here, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's worth noting the exact statistic is 56% of digital profit for EA comes from FIFA specifically year over year.
Yeah.
Which is
I thought it was
insane.
higher than that, but anyway.
Yeah.
Here's what I have to say is, oh, he left, but who's right there? Like, how does this like different from like whatchamacallit? I guess because it's physical, the cards, the sports cards, baseball cards.
I think the big thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think the big key phrase here is intrinsic value.
Sure, I guess you could sell a very
Yeah.
rare card for lots of money, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think it's like, I think the difference is just like, I don't know, you buy like a pack of Magic the Gathering cards or whatever, and it's just like, these don't have any intrinsic value besides, the cost to manufacture and then the profit margin on top of it.
Yeah.
Any additional value comes from, like a not actually sanctioned market or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But then when you run into the fact, it's just like, more often than not, it's like loot boxes contain things that you might be able to purchase separately also. Those could be argued to have a value.
Yeah.
Before, although that entire thing could get argued by saying it's just like, well, it's a digital item and there's no intrinsic value to digital items also. This is why it gets kind of muddy.
Can you trade like the FIFA stuff at all?
I don't
know,
think
is
so.
that it? I don't think, okay.
I haven't played FIFA though, but
I haven't either. I wouldn't know.
You
Because if you can like trade them, I don't see why there could technically be like an aftermarket for it, right? Like hey, I have this super rare card. PayPal me $50 or whatever, whatever the people's market sets it as. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I will trade you my card, or whatever, And then what if FIFA builds that into their like thing of like, hey, this person didn't pay me, I'm gonna like, cancel the card. You have like 3 days to cancel, sending over the card or something like that, like.
So, I think this is more so commissioned to kids and whatnot. I think they're trying to change kids and for like people who are obviously addicted to the whole gambling mechanics. So I think one of the main things they're wanting to do is put on the box of a game that this includes this item, blah blah blah, and also like on digital purchases and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically they've been doing that, but they've been doing it on the back of the box. Under the same place where you go ahead to see cartoonish violence or what have you, I think.
Or it contains,
whatever
stuff. I forgot the actual wording.
I think they're. Oh, go ahead, Anthony.
I think they're wanting to detail this, wanting to get this detailed a lot more, so then it kind of goes into detail about what is actually included, what risks are involved, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that I'm looking at it from, because this is definitely something that they're saying that if your game has loot boxes, it should quote unquote not be a game for kids. 2K20, goddamn, take notes, please. But besides that though, it's like,
I mean,
please, for God's sakes, kids, they could grab their parents' credit cards and start spending and not even realize it. And it's like, oh, add parental controls, and it's like, oh yeah, if only that would work,
I mean,
it's like so much nonsense on this.
There's a lot of ways it could work, like two-factor authentication. Like someone's gonna spend money on this account, send a text message to this phone. Like there's a lot.
There's so much stuff.
I still think
there's a lot.
I still think like this whole thing can get separated into like two sort of like groups or whatever. You get adults that like know what they're doing but have some degree of like gambling addiction or whatever with this whole thing. But then although at the same time also it's like then the other group is just like kids who are just like going willy-nilly with mommy's credit card. It's like for that second group there, it's like I do think it is somewhat the failure of a parent also. But but also at the same time also it's just like I think it would be nice to see you know, if the console manufacturers, so it's like Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and whatnot, put in parental controls on the consoles, and then it's just like you know, it's just like parents should have their kids play on a parentally controlled account or whatever, and just like
but most parents don't even think about that.
Right,
they have
want these sorts of accounts out of being able to
any purchases, right?
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
This is you're logged into this account, no purchases can be made.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't know if that already exists. It could already exist.
It might. I don't know. It's like
they just don't put it forward. Like
Right,
they need to be more on top of like marketing that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But also like, you know, we talk about like, you know, gambling, people having, you know, stuff like, oh, you know, this is predatory for people who have a like, you know, a tendency to gamble. But at the same time, like gambling, like at least in the United States, is like widely available to people all the time. So it's like. You know, just because people, I mean, you're not winning money, I guess.
Right.
Is that the problem? Like, right? Because we don't have a problem.
You're not cashing out, so it's not gambling. So
no, it's like the same like psychological dopamine hit that you might get from like the flashing lights on a slot machine, because you know you ever see a loot box open and it's like woo fireworks.
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, like these people who have you know, if they do in fact have an issue with these gambling stuff, like nothing is stopping them from going to a
Right,
gamble.
exactly.
You know, like you're not having some guy at the front door being like, "Hold on, sir. Like, do you have a problem with gambling? You can't come in." No, they're just like, "Do you have a problem? Yeah, please come in." Like, you know, like
that's
so
like
it's just it's a weird regulation that I don't understand quite, because like, you know,
I think that's why the US isn't looking into it as
that's
much at the moment.
This could
because here and in the UK, because you know we ban everything. Here and in the UK, I think it's more so like
here being Australia.
Yeah, here being Australia, obviously. You get so you can get locked out of clubs and stuff that have pokie machines, which is slot machines or gambling. So basically, if you're a member of like a hotel that has slot machines or whatever, you know, you have a card, but you've got to. There's certain like they analyze you while you're playing the slot machines or the we call them pokies.
Okay.
So and if they see that you're coming in too much, they'll ban you from the premises.
Interesting.
And it's the same like with the Crown Casino here, which is like a massive casino in Melbourne as well.
Okay.
Like it's the same kind of mechanic there as well.
They have those cards here. I just don't know if they go that far.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think they go that far.
I would assume they do not.
Technically, in Vegas, you just go straight into the casino. You don't need to swipe your way in to start gambling there. So,
if you wanted to like have a rewards card, though, you would.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, a rewards card, yeah, but otherwise, if you don't,
but they're not going to tie a
psychological.
Here in the States, they're not going to tie a psychological profile for you on your like MGM life card or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but all right. What I was going to say is like, okay, even if you remove it's like even if you remove the whole like gambling addiction thing, or it's like possibility thing or whatever, ignore that completely. I don't know. There's this observed, and it's like you can actually track this. There have been a few studies on this. It's just like there's this observed psychological effect with digital money and whatnot. So it's just like, you know, it's kind of different. You know, it's like the reason why people can spend these absurd amount of monies is because like there's something to not actually seeing the cash.
Like physical.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even different than like swiping a card somewhere, too.
Sure.
So yeah, it's just like you can make the. It's like there is a like research to back up. It's like that whole thing.
No, yeah,
I mean it's easy to buy stuff online nowadays. If you have your credit card information saved, you just press a few buttons and there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just don't see like. It's at a certain point. It's getting like I don't understand how this is even. Possible to regulate.
Yeah.
And that's why I say
well, that's the thing though, because no action has been taken up to this point. It's like, well, maybe the video game industry will just regulate itself, and we know how that's ended up. Up to this point. So it's like, you know, at this point, the options have been either the video game industry regulates itself, or government will regulate video games, so that there will be some.
Much rather have the industry regulate itself, though.
Right, of course.
Yes, everyone wants that. But the problem though is that we are at a point to where it's like the industry doesn't want to do anything, and therefore, if there is outside interference, it's like the excuses of, oh, it's a surprise mechanic, so it's nothing wrong. It's like, no. Any logical person listening to this is going to say, you're crazy. What are you doing?
And
well,
also,
I mean, what,
it's
what can you do? Like, well, what can you do? Like, we
It's
talked about, like, we talked about...
Who knows what you can do, but the problem though is that if you have outside people coming in to say, here's what you need to do, they're going to probably say something you're not going to like to hear. And therefore, if that happens, then it's like, you had your chance to fix it, so now someone else is going to force you to fix it.
Right.
Whether if you like it or not. Enjoy your billion-dollar profit suddenly getting thrown out.
Do you think investors care? They don't care about that. They just care about making money. So
exactly.
Well, the investors are going to care if their loot box money suddenly goes and gets thrown away.
Well,
so
okay, so
they're
hold on,
going to be
hold
paying
on,
a bit more attention there.
There are a couple things I want to bring up too. It's just like, at least, okay, so in the U.S., it's just like when a law, straight up law gets written, it's like one key precedent and caveat for it is that the law has to be enforceable. And no, Andrew makes a good point. It's just like, there's really no way to enforce this law. It's like, examining the rhetoric that most U.S. legislators have put forward surrounding loot boxes and everything, it's all about protection of children, which is, and so it's just like, I think the most the U.S., and I'm only speaking for the U.S. here specifically, would do is like make it so that the console manufacturers have to add, if it's not doesn't already exist, I don't know, I've never looked at these things because I don't have a kid and I'm an adult. It's just like make it so that it's like parental controls lockout of like external purchases or whatever. And I think that's the most that would ever, just requiring the manufacturers to have this feature. I think that's the most that would ever happen.
But
and so
that's your issue. You're looking at this from a US standpoint. Let's be honest, the US isn't going to do anything about this, in my opinion, because of the gambling laws and all that kind of stuff, but the rest of the world probably is.
Is the ESA a worldwide thing, or is that a thing?
I
think the
it's
ESA
worldwide.
is more...
No, I think it'd be a US thing, actually.
I think the ESA...
Why did they...
No, that's PEGI. PEGI, I think, is more worldwide.
Okay.
Well,
the ESA, I don't
That's
think
ESRB.
No, ESA owns the ESRB, though.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming into it, because I'm just thinking, like, they're the people who regulate in the United States of games in general.
Because these are the guys who put forward the bill to the US, to the UK government.
Okay.
Like, put forward the proposition, not bill, but the proposition for it. So it seems like they're a worldwide organization.
Okay.
So what I've been trying to say
about
regulation of this is what may be a good thing to do, perhaps, is obviously a law's got to be put in place if anything's going to change. It probably won't happen in the US, but for the rest of the world, in order for it to be enforced, the law's got to be written for it. So if this happens in the UK, what I would reckon that probably would happen is every game developer / publisher that has a game that has loot boxes in it, take Respawn for example, add in like a bot or something that automatically analyzes your account and sees how much how much
you spent.
They lock your account from purchasing more.
Where do you arbitrarily set the line for that, though?
Yes.
Exactly. So that's I can't say what is good and what is bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess I'm speaking in terms of a law, like
a
higher-state law that would be passed. The only thing that would be remotely feasible, because laws have to be enforceable. I don't think it's just like that's a thing in the U.S. I'm sure it's a thing in the U.K. and Australia too. It's like you need to have some degree of enforcement to laws. The way that I see it playing out, if a law were to ever be passed for this, would be would be. I mean, I don't know how they do it in Down Under. No. No.
I mean, no, I'm not going to go into that, but no, there are so many laws that aren't enforced here, it's ridiculous.
Okay. But,
theoretically enforced.
Yeah, theoretically you can enforce, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, anyway, But what I'm saying is just like, I don't know, if there was to be any law, I believe it would look like this, and that is just like, you can't have monetization models in games. So it's like, that exclusive, it's like, give exclusive rewards by chance only. So, for example, okay, I don't know, say it's like, you have a game, let's just say Apex Legends or whatever, right? Say in Apex Legends, right, it's just like, there are 5 weapon skins or whatever. The game double dips, so to speak, so there's an in-game store where all of these items are sold cosmetically, but then there's also the loot boxes, where you can get those same items just by gambling or buying the loot box and trying to get it out of those or whatever, Yeah. So that's the way I'm trying to see it playing out, is that like there has to be an individually purchasable alternative to it.
Right.
Well, and fairness, that's kind of what Overwatch does, because mind you, the only thing you can't do in Overwatch is buy credit to be able to then use it to buy items. To which, if they did that, then Overwatch, where you complained about, but because, for Overwatch, yeah, you could essentially earn the credits to go ahead and buy the stuff, or you could go ahead and open up loot boxes for a chance to be able to just get them without paying for anything.
Because technically, you're not buying the chance, then.
There will be a Supreme Court case.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, that I could have sworn I heard something like in China or something, or somewhere that, you could be able to go ahead and buy money or buy credits, and then at the same time also get boxes. So it's like, you're kind of double dipping in that kind of standpoint, where it's like, you're buying yourself credits, and because you bought some credits, here's some loot boxes for the chance to be able to maybe win stuff. And if you don't get what you want, then you can go ahead and just buy it outright. Sure. And, and if that's how it gets fixed, I don't see any problems with that, because it's like, well, at least at the very least, you could go ahead and just, get the credits that you want. It's just that the question, though, becomes, how far are you willing to stretch it before the court just breaks and you have people saying, you should be charging $170 for an axe handle or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
back to Apex Legends.
Right.
It comes down to a few things. It's like, if there is a law that has to do with it, then you're hurting a business and its revenue.
Right, which is not like an optic thing.
Specific individuals, of course.
Yeah, which is not like an optic thing that legislators want to adopt.
No, right? You don't want to hurt any businesses, right? There's I don't know. I'm not like a lawmaker, but there's probably something in some kind of big document somewhere. Like government should not be involved to like limit businesses, like revenues and stuff like that. I'm only assuming, right? Like there's got to be.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, sure, in some standpoint, but then at the same time, though, it's like,
But
at the same time, if they're earning their money by, technically hurting people,
right? But
like
that's my point. Is like it comes down to ethics, and there has to be a Supreme Court case that talks about, is this ethical? Right. Is a loot box ethical?
Yeah.
And that's not going to be solved until that happens.
I don't know. Can you imagine explaining a loot box to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, though?
I mean, it's true. Supreme Court.
I know. I'm just saying. It's like nothing against her or anything. I'm just saying. It's like, can you imagine? It's like having to explain to like some 90-year-old judge what a loot box is in the Supreme Court.
I mean, you could.
That'd be hell.
The 90-year-old judge is still probably trying to figure out what a regular Nintendo is and what
you tell them it's a pack of baseball cards. That's what we tell them.
Yeah,
it's like a pack of baseball cards.
It's a pack of baseball cards that you can't exactly redeem or trade outside of the game itself.
At the same time,
that happens with a lot of baseball cards. Yeah. You get a bad pack of baseball.
Yeah. Although at the same time,
it's just garbage.
Yeah, it's like at the same time also though, it's like if you were to, and it's like if let's just play this out theoretically, right? So it's like if you were to make the argument to the Supreme Court, it's like, oh, you know what, loot boxes are fine because it's like baseball cards are fine. Okay, then maybe like, okay, we're gonna go with the same precedent that was established for trading cards and whatnot. It's just like, oh, it's just like they have no intrinsic value then if they're just like baseball cards. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, there it goes. All right. Anyway, Anthony, you've been dying to say something. What is it?
I mean, so if a law was in any country, whatever it is, say in Australia or the UK, the problem is that opens the door for so much more moderation in general. So if they then moderate how much you can purchase in-game in a loot box, what's to say how much internet you can use on said game. And that's the thing with laws and all this kind of stuff. Like once you open the door a crack, then you're absolutely stuffed in a sense, because then moderation comes in, particularly in a country like Australia, because everything is government moderated.
Yeah.
Our internet is government owned. Our power, a lot of our power is government owned. Everything is government operated. And the government has their finger in small businesses, in large businesses. Everything's moderated by the government. So I think that is a very dangerous thing if the government then starts making laws for what games can and can't do, and how much people can and can't spend in games, and how much internet they can use, and all this kind of stuff. So I think in order to avoid all this, moderation, all that kind of stuff, developers and publishers need to get ahead of this, and they need to really implement their own systems per game. Maybe whether it's a bot or whatever that automatically analyzes and maybe suggests, hey, don't do this. Are you really sure that you want to do this? Even if it's a 1-2 step.
Yeah.
That would be the easy way of being able to fix the problem. The only problem is that Most aren't actually doing that. I mean, if EA was to come out tomorrow and say that we're going to set up a system to where you cannot spend more than, like, say, $50 a day. And if you try to spend more than that, we will stop it. I'm sure that if there was something as simple as that, that probably could go miles.
What if you want to buy the $100 pack? You know, like it's
right. They sell these like $99 loot bots packs. I've seen them.
Well, okay, $50.99, but you get the idea. That it's like if you could have people spending $500 in a day, that's probably a problem. So it's like, you know, if EA was to limit how much people spend per day, that would probably be enough to help, you know, make arguments for loot boxes being a little bit more ethical if we wanted to stretch that definition out. Even that, though, no one's taking those steps right now. They think that, you know, just posting the percentages, that resolves everything. They don't need to do anything else outside of that.
Again,
I think the problem.
I think this falls on the console manufacturers and the storefronts because EA is not in charge. They're not in charge of the storefront.
No,
they put out what they think are the right prices that they will make the most profit on, right? And it's up to the consumer to buy that or don't buy that, right?
Right.
And then it's another step forward. It's up to the console manufacturers who put these storefronts out. Then that's when they can they're the middleman who gets to limit. It should be the people who limit on what is being spent or not being spent, right? Like, so.
Yeah. And then it's like trying to tie it back to the whole what is it? Like the whole like self-regulation thing that the industry wants to keep on going. It's just like, you know, the best way to self-regulate is going to have it's just like, you know, the audience start voting with their wallet or whatever.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, you talk to a vast majority of like enthusiast gamers, and like I'm not talking about like the person who plays Candy Crush occasionally on their phone. I'm talking about it's like people who are maybe play games a little bit more than average, and then, you know, maybe consume media, people who would you know, maybe people like us, people who would like read the occasional Kotaku or a Culture Gaming article or something like that. And so you know, it's like those sorts of people, it's like they certainly don't like it because, you know, they're more opinionated than others and everything, but then it's just like at the same time also they are a minority of the entire like video game player base. If you were to take the industry as a whole, they are technically a minority, and so it's like, you know, you need a majority of people that are occasionally spending a few bucks here and there. Because like the same thing also, you don't hear about like, I don't know, Joe next door spending like $5 on a FIFA loot box or something, you know? You only ever hear about the 13-year-old swiping mommy's credit card. It's just like, and you know, that's not, it's easy to conflate it as like, oh, it's a majority case. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that probably shouldn't happen either, but it's like, you know, it's easy to conflate that as like, oh, this is a majority of cases, it's an epidemic. But it's like, at the same time, it's just like, most of the people that like play games actually don't care about this, you know? That's the thing, which is
and that's the beautiful joy about all this, because it's like, you know, if you're aware of the problem with loot boxes, congratulations, you're not the target.
Right, exactly.
The target is those who are not aware about the dangers of loot boxes, and therefore that's where these come up. But, you know, obviously, if we try to say it within just our community, obviously no one's going to care because we already know about it. You know, but for everyone else who's not in the gaming as much, then yeah, that's definitely a problem, but they're not aware of it until they see how much money just got spent.
But it's an interesting topic because I mean, like people, I mean, you could say people aren't aware of how much they spend, but they're, you know, they're aware of what's coming out of what they buy. Like, oh, I bought this thing and I got this thing out of it, and you know, that's good or bad.
Well, what I mean is like more specific to those who have the issues in which that we discussed previously.
Well, that's
with credit card or someone with a gambling addiction of sort.
Again, that's probably the outlier as well, though.
Right, exactly, and that was part of the point I was trying to make. It was just like, you know, it's just like we hear about these fantastical stories. You know, I hate to use this term, but you know, it's the industry term, the whales, so to speak. Right?
Sure, yeah.
That it's like the entire it's like the entire market is entirely propped up on the whales and everything. You know, it's not necessarily tied up to a Joe next door buying a $5 FIFA whatever box. You know. And so it's just like, you know, and and so it's just like, I view it like this. It's like, if it wasn't profitable, then they wouldn't do it. That's the thing, right?
Exactly.
It's like, you know, it's like just like if this was truly something that was needed to be self-regulated, then you would see like people just straight up not buying these things on a larger scale than already happens. And you know, and companies would be like, okay, you know what, this isn't working out, or we need to
but a lot of people are then kind of like, I don't even want to think about this, I just want to go in and buy something and be happy.
That's and I think I do like that when you have a store like, hey, buy this skin for X amount of money, instead of, you know, like taking a chance. Like that's totally cool. I think that works fine.
Yeah, right.
But like I guess go ahead.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are more interested in kind of acting innocent rather than thinking about, what's this doing for the industry, what's this doing for the people who have the gambling addiction or whatever. It's just, I want to go in and buy a $5 skin and be happy. Right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what a consumer should do. That's how people make money, and that's what happens. So, yeah.
I don't know. And then
Andrew, what were you?
No, I'm just saying, like, I've spent money on, like, loot boxes, and I don't inherently think they're a bad thing.
Right.
I've spent money, mostly Apex Legends. Maybe, I'm gonna guess I've spent maybe, like, $20 to $30.
$80 a year on Overwatch. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, so, I mean, like...
I'll admit that one, too.
You have a problem.
But, like, I'm playing a game, I've had a few drinks. Yeah, whatever, dude. I'll spend $10, like, right now, because I'm, like, and, like, I have a good time, open my little boxes, and I'm like, whoa. And then I move on, right? And like I think that's where a lot of people it ends.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like vast majority of cases play out exactly like that. It's like it's the same cheap entertainment you get from playing a slot machine. You know,
right?
It's like it's just like it's like I have a stack of tens. I've been pulled a lever a few times. All right, sure. It's like cheap entertainment. I
might get the cool thing I want.
Yeah.
I might not.
I might get $5 grand.
Right, oh well.
Well, that's a little different when you're coming in. The stakes are much higher. Right?
Again, though, for like what was said earlier, there's a lot of gray spots in the conversation of loot boxes altogether. I may go ahead and try to bash it a bit, but I would be a hypocrite to say that I do not spend a penny on loot boxes. Because,
I have never bought a loot box.
I'm the kind of person who buys all the skins during the Halloween events in Overwatch because I just love the designs, and I feel like I need to get all of them, and even if I don't play one or two characters.
Totally, that's totally like what they want, and like consumer decide.
And that in that standpoint, I understand. But then when you get into the bigger details of like how people try to offer that, that's when it starts to get a little bit more like, you should not be doing this in that standpoint. But it's like I said though, a lot of gray spots, so it's like rather difficult to say what's going to happen from this point going forward, essentially.
Right.
And maybe because things like FIFA offer literal gameplay value from that, maybe is a different. Like, I buy the skin, the loot box that gives me a skin for, a weapon or whatever, and it's like, okay, that affects nothing. Whereas like a FIFA thing where it's like, or I don't know how Madden works. But like you get this 97 rated character, and that just makes you better inherently at this game.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a problem because then people are like, well, I want to be good at the game. So now
and again, the other thing though, like we said earlier, is that it's all depending on the game that you play. Because like, if you're playing a game that's rated M, then it's like, well, okay, technically that's kind of like a high enough game to where the people who should be playing these games should know how loot boxes work. Whereas when you have the NBA 2K20 or your FIFA or your Madden, that's rated E for everyone.
Are they E or not? They're not T?
No, they're E. Okay. That's the whole reason why 2K20 got torn apart, because you literally have slot machines and the spinning wheel and the dropping balls that's being rated for kids 3 and up.
Are they paying money to spin those things? Or are those just like, okay, they are?
Or actually, no. I mean, I know they have the loot boxes too, but it's like, I don't know about those specifically, but that's still like, you're literally putting gambling like mechanics in your game and saying for little Timmy, have fun. Even if that may not be spinning, but it's
like, more or less better? I mean, Overwatch is teen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
I mean, mind you that maybe that's how we resolve the issue. These games should not be rated E for everyone anymore. They should be rated T for teen if they have loot boxes. I think that would be a kind of fair trade, maybe. But who knows?
I mean, I played a lot of NBA 2K19, and I don't engage in a lot of like the other things around. I just play the story mode, basically. But if I remember correctly, there's a place you can walk into and like stand and like you get a free spin every day or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you can pay for more spins. But that has been in the game previously.
I.e. every mobile game out there.
Yeah, but it just doesn't. It's just not as like
Well, that's what it is. Technology is evolving so fast nowadays, where it's like technology or law's not keeping up with technology. Therefore, it's like you need to do something about this before it spirals out of control, or however some people would say about it.
That's the problem. Is like no one's gonna agree.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
What out of control is, or what is too much, what is not.
Yeah, no, and some people say that we've already crossed that line a long time ago. Other people say we have yet to reach it.
Exactly, right. That's there's no precedent.
Sooner or later, someone's gonna put their foot down. And the thing with the UK, it's like that is an actual step forward in this conversation. As for how far that step is, time will tell with how that plays out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then,
Like I said, that right now that I don't think that loot boxes is the most important thing going on in the UK right now. So, you know,
maybe
call me
I think
crazy,
there
but
are
it's a
things
bit
to
of a
worry
hunch.
about over there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a little bit more. Just the point is like, I don't know if Andrew's accurate. I'm just like saying what I believe you or anything. I'm not down you or anything, but it's just like, you know, it's like in 2K19 did have that mechanic or whatever. It's like the reason why 2K20 gets such a controversy drummed up around it is because, you know, we're in the midst of like, oh, the European or the British, the UK, whoever's investigating it, you know, in the midst of this investigation and whatnot. So it's just like, you know, the rhetoric is amplified around it, you know?
Sure.
So
Tremendously.
yeah.
Because it's like the last thing you want to do is make yourself look bad. So of course, you know, if this wasn't going on, then maybe a lot of people would just be barking it. That's all it is. But because of all the controversy going on with loot boxes nowadays, that the trailer for 2K20 just felt like a gigantic slap in the face to everyone who's trying to do something about this. But
you think 2K is like up there in their office building being like, why am I getting hate online?
no, you're getting hate online right now because your game is glitchy as hell and does not perform well.
They don't care.
I'm sorry, we're talking about 2K20 or Borderlands 3 here?
No, 2K20.
Okay.
Because it's like...
One thing I will say,
yeah.
Final thing regarding this, if you, the viewer, have any idea the kind of stuff could be moderated or you want to...
the Discord call
have...
flickering? Okay, anyway, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anthony.
If you have any ideas on how this stuff could be moderated or anything, we'll hear your thoughts on this whole issue and, you know, what you think is a good way to moderate loot boxes or if they should be moderated or shouldn't be or whatever.
Yeah, hit us up in our community Discord. Once again, invite to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the site. So
yeah, feel free to share your thoughts because, like we just showed, there's more than one side to this argument, essentially.
We've been talking about it for about 40 minutes now, so there's
a
a lot.
long
sweet
time.
Jesus. Okay.
Hey, it was a really big story this week, though. That's the
true,
thing.
yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough,
That if the Tokyo Game Show wasn't this week, we would have been talking about this at the start.
Alright.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Andrew, this pretty good week for Apple fans, I guess. iPhone 11 hype. Well, no.
Sure.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a looking thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a little different though. This was basically Apple Arcade.
The first sentence that you said cut off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just said not a new device or anything,
Okay.
but a new way, I guess, to enjoy an Apple service.
Okay.
The Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
It's not out yet. I'll just go with it. It's a game subscription service launching for about $4.99 a month and on September 19th. We'll get in front of it. So you need iOS 13, which is the newest one, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically you get a catalog of over 100 new games. Some of them are exclusive, not all exclusive. And you can. This is directly from Apple's website. All playable across iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Mac, and Apple TV. So you can get a 1-month trial, and like I said, the 19th. But yeah, anywho, these are not. It's not a streaming service. I want to say it is you download these games. So
Is it like Game Pass but for the App Store?
yes, I
Okay.
want to say it's similar to that. You're going to have a option of 100 different games or however many they decide to have on, and you can download them and play them at any time. I am unsure exactly of you can play all the games. I can play this game on my iPhone, and I can also, but I can't play this game on my phone. I don't know if that's the case, and I'm sure more will come out later.
Okay.
As we find out. But yeah, I'm gonna go over just a few of what I think to be pretty kind of decent games. That sounds interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever played Choo Choo Rocket, but it's a Dreamcast game that's real weird and real fun.
Okay.
But Choo Choo Rocket Universe, it's a Sega game, and it's like a puzzle game. So there's Choo Choo Rocket 2, which is kind of cool, because Choo Choo Rockets are really fun. Like you're like sending things to other people. It's like a multiplayer kind of craziness. So that's cool. Choo Choo Rocket Universe. Exit the Gungeon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From Devolver. So that's interesting, which I believe is like Enter the Gungeon, but like 2D, I want to say. So pretty cool, right?
Okay.
What else we got? Pac-Man Party Royale.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's a game that people have played. That's like like go to arcade, like if you have an arcade or whatever. But basically, you're just Pac-Man, but you're fighting against 3 other people.
Sweet.
So that's cool. Rayman Mini.
Fascinating.
I don't know what that is, but Rayman's a cool platformer. So if that's a thing, I'm down for that. Shantae and the 7 Sirens from Way Forward. So
a game that's not out yet. So
no.
Rather interesting to actually see that on a mobile platform, actually.
Yeah, right. So that's cool. Skate City, which is like a skateboarding game, and I'm always down with some cool skateboarding stuff.
Yeah.
Steven Universe Unleash the Light. So I didn't know that's a big cartoon thing. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. But Super Impossible Road, a game I played, super fun. It's like you're a ball and you go down these like procedural generated things.
I remember that. Yeah.
That game's pretty cool. And I think, Various Daylife, I want to say, which is from Square Enix and is a brand new RPG from the creators of Bravely Default and Octopath Traveler. So there's a new RPG from those guys. So I don't know. That's relatively like decent lineup.
Well, the thing we need to keep in mind here is like I forgot if you said this or not, but this is $4.99 a month.
Yeah.
$4.99 for all these titles on your mobile device, to which chances are you probably would spend more than that on just one game for their microtransactions, perhaps. So it's like to get all these games on your mobile, it's like just like the Xbox Game Pass. Sounds like a really good deal if the lineup is strong, which from what it looks like, it actually does look to be rather strong right now.
Yeah, no, I don't really like playing games on my phone. I'm not like a big Apple fan or anything. But it's just like, I don't know, credit to where credit is due. It's like, this is an incredibly smart move by Apple to just kind of copy, it's like what others are doing in the gaming industry and apply it to themselves because they've seen how monetary it is.
Here's also a good little quote. Where we get to give users maximum flexibility when playing. Some gamers will support controllers, Xbox and Bluetooth, PlayStation 4, MFI game controllers. I'm not quite sure what that is. MFI. Here we are. It's a subscription that enables such a wide breadth of new titles to be played across mobile, desktop, and TV. So theoretically, like you could be playing a game on your phone, I would assume, and then like transfer it over to your Apple TV if you had an Apple TV and play it there as well.
Okay.
So that's a decently kind of cool thing.
Integration into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing in which I was actually kind of interested in, now that I'm giving it some thought. Because of course, never mind, sorry. I thought that Apple made Stadia, but no. I was about to say, why aren't they putting this with Stadia? But then it's like, wait, Apple didn't make Google, or Google
wrong mega corporation.
Sorry. That's what I was going to say.
It's this other massive tech conglomerate.
Right.
No, it's obvious. I mean, it would be easy to, forget that the two are separate, but... Yeah, sorry.
No, it's good.
I mean, I have an Apple, I have an iPhone, and I have a MacBook. It's a little old.
The thing was punching along at E3, though.
Yeah, it did already, E3. So I'm curious, like, $5 a month to, like, I might, and even the free month, like, there's a free month, so I guess I will sign up for that free month and see how it goes. But I don't know. I have a PS4 controller. I have a MacBook. I'm curious to see how this will work. I'm just curious to see if you guys are like. I know you guys aren't all Mac owners, or Apple owners. But I'm just curious if that may sway you to at least try out maybe an Apple TV or something like that.
I mean, in fairness, if people were to have a mobile option to them, they probably would have something else in mind, I'm sure. But I forgot I had this right next to me, but. That's kind of the thing that I'm also kind of curious about because, of course, this is definitely good for those who go ahead to, if they're away from their household, definitely for sure. But then again, it's like they're making the same pitch as to Switch.
Right.
So it's like, this is Apple's way of being able to, I guess, be able to get more of their games out there. Or not their games, but games that partner with Apple to go ahead and be a part of this Apple Arcade to be able to get their name out there to be able to do this. I'm just questioning, like, just how effective would this be in the mobile market? Because, Microsoft makes it work with Game Pass, obviously, but I don't really know how exactly well that would work in the situation of a mobile phone.
This does tie back to what I was saying in our big loot box discussion, how it's just like, okay, you examine, it's like the majority of the player base that comprises the video game industry, and it's just like, I believe the statistics are that it's just like a majority of them, or it's that way we count it as part of the industry, only play on mobile. Like, you know, it's like once again, there's like the person.
Yeah, no, and if they go ahead to hop onto this, and if they enjoy it, all the more power to them, of course.
So
it's just that for the, you know, it's just trying to figure out like just how effective is this going to be, because of course this looks like it's a gold mine to get busted open, of course.
I think the price is right. Like, I think
no, $4.99 is really
critical.
good price. If it was $10, I would be questioning it a bit more, but $5 a month for so many games, I would say, you know, go for it.
I will say this really quick. It'll be available on the 19th with iOS 13, but not till September 30th can you do the iPad or the TV or the MacBook. Oh, it says October on the MacBook.
Okay.
Or the Mac OS, which I assume is like MacBooks and the desktop stuff.
Okay.
So it looks like they're just launching it first on like phones, trying to get people in that way, and then maybe people who are already sold will you know. Can you run Mac OS on a PC?
Yeah, you can.
So, I mean, if you really wanted to, right, you could switch over.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so
it's a massive pain in the ass.
Good.
It's a massive pain in the
ass.
ass.
Is it pain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for that, I don't know.
Or like, how much is like a Apple TV?
It's like $250.
Oh, like.
Is it really that expensive?
That's like $199 or $250. Yeah. It's up there.
Louise. Cause like, I don't know. Like, I guess, yeah, it's like $150.
Okay.
For the this says latest model.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little bit more expensive. Oh,
this one says $200. So
Apple
I'm getting,
TV 4K. Let's see here.
Oh, okay. So the 32 gigabytes, $150. The 64 is.
Okay.
So expensive.
Yeah.
Relative. You know, it's that's like almost this price of the Switch Lite or whatever.
Yeah. Just buy a Switch Lite.
I mean, yeah. I'm curious to see if you'll be able to. I don't know how it works, but like if you could like do that like AirPlay or whatever to your TV like easily. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
You know, if you could if you have a smart TV, maybe you could
How seamless it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that.
Well, this is going to be coming up on the 19th. We're not going to have to wait too long to be able to get that answer, I would say.
Yeah,
true,
Or at least on the iOS anyway. Whereas, like you said, if it comes next month for all other platforms, again, we're not going to have to wait too long to be able to know those answers.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Once again, it's like, you know, say what you will about Apple or whatever, but it's like, to their credit also, it's just like all their features work really well 100% of the time. You know, that's it. They may not have all the features you want, but all their features work really well 100% of the time. So it's like, I couldn't imagine the experience being horrible, like switching from your phone to TV, you know, because that's just not like, that's not really how Apple likes to operate.
Yeah.
Apple wants that 100% quality or close enough to it.
Right.
I can't stand Apple, to be honest.
This is also an interesting note I'm looking at. It's I don't know if this is I don't know what AED is. What currency is that?
AED?
Yeah. Okay.
Automated
whatever.
Automated
It says this is automatically a family sharing plan, allowing up to 6 family members to share the same subscription for
defibrillator when I typed that in.
1 month. Yeah, that's also my initial. Yes, for
United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
Dirham.
There you go.
Dirham or whatever.
Dirham. Yeah. It's a family plan, so you automatically get 6 people on this.
That's the same thing they do for like their Apple Music. They have a family
oh, really?
plan for Apple
That's
Music.
cool though. Like,
yeah.
if you like, you know, like.
Well, if it's a proven system, then why not?
Yeah. If you have like gamer buddies, you can just be like, you know, hey, I'll give you my code. It's $5 a month or whatever, you know. So
yeah, give me money and I'll let you in.
Give me $1. You can give me right? Like,
it's like, this is
50 cents.
This is so cheap. It really is.
Just buy me a Coke every month.
I would dare say it's like, I don't know.
Give me
like,
donuts.
Just don't have some of the notable titles
Buy
around there.
coffee.
I don't know, like the current App Store prices and everything, but it's like I feel like 2 of these games would be like, if you were to buy 2 of these games individually, it might be more expensive than just pay the Apple Arcade subscription. You know?
There's also a Frogger game, a Frogger in Toyland.
Nice. Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
that could be Frogger's, you know, just in test
Yeah.
To me, this
Fun
kind
is
of appeals more for kids or whatever. In a sense,
Yeah.
it feels like more mobile kind of platform.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
that it's like little Johnny doesn't have to keep asking mom if he can buy a 99-cent app or something.
Right? Yeah. You just
on his iPod Touch.
you fill the games up with the ones like, you know,
Yeah.
appropriate for, you know, your children or whatever, and boom.
All right.
Lego Brawls. I mean, that's got Lego in the title, so that's
Yeah.
I just
Well,
want to look
again,
at here.
that's
Heck
they
yeah,
know
let's do it.
they know their audience and
Oh man,
know
this
who
sounds
they're
like a
going to
good one.
target to. So I won't be shocked if we hear later on how successful Apple Arcade is when it launches. Or at least
UFO.
hopefully it'll be successful.
I like the name of this game, UFO on Tape First Contact.
Okay. We're slowly.
What, Area 51 Raiders wasn't a good enough title?
Ooh, Jenny LeClue. That game's kind of cool. Actually.
We're
Is that
slowly.
still happening or what?
What, Anthony?
Oh,
No,
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 that
that
got
got
canceled.
Okay.
it got canceled.
Oh dang.
It turns out that the idea of maybe raiding an airbase may not be the best idea for keeping people alive.
But
Just
why?
hunch.
It's a perfect Sunday
on now.
activity. Come on.
Is that next week?
The whole
Is that next week?
family.
It turns out that some millennials do want to live. Who knew?
Ocean
The
Horn.
whole family can engage.
Yeah.
Ocean Horn 2's on here. That's like a game that was kind of like Zelda, basically.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen
Nice.
that game. Yeah, that's like a Zelda game, basically. That might already be on iOS, actually, but now it might be, November 2019. Oh, so it's not even out yet.
No, we're slowly reaching the point where it's like you'll be able to like 100% function in in fact, I think we're somewhat there actually. Function in daily life just with Apple products. It's like because okay, so it's like you need a phone. Okay, here's an iPhone. You need a credit card. Here's the Apple Card. Now you're paying for stuff on Apple branded stuff.
You need groceries? Go ahead to have someone, or go to the app and have them delivered to your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like with your Apple Card saved as a payment method. Need a laptop? There's a MacBook. You need a somewhat competent desktop experience. There's an iMac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Need power? Have they got Apple Power or whatever yet?
No,
Or
not
what?
yet. AirPower, no, not yet.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, it's
Oh,
like
what
you need
fun.
like a set of earbuds. There are AirPods. Yeah. You need like a streaming bots for your TV. They have Apple TV. I think we're just waiting for them to make their own television at this point.
Own car.
Yeah.
Actually,
I've heard
game
that's in the
console
works
might not
too.
be something
That's
that
in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
far off,
An
honestly.
Apple car.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get Apple housing
People fear
eventually.
Disney,
It's an
but they do not fear
empire.
Apple. They are
I mean,
full.
yeah, they are. They're the monopoly, almost right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
But
I
yeah,
fear
no,
Apple more than Disney.
it's cool. I don't know. I
Alright.
don't particularly subscribe. I mean, I have Apple stuff, but I'm not like that's all I want. But this is
Alright.
cool. So.
All
A
right.
lot of people are like that though.
Yeah, a lot of people are
Yes,
like
yeah, a lot.
super in the ecosystem. Yeah,
Mhm.
super.
And Apple has a really bad track record with like having a game. You can't play games very well on like anything Mac.
No, there's an old joke in the PC community. It's like, oh, games on a Mac. will
Not
make
just
a
the
wall.
iPhone. That's probably as good as you could get if you want a good gaming experience. Otherwise,
Yeah.
people aren't using their Macs to play Cuphead or
Right.
anything that you
Right.
play on the PC.
But now that you can pair a controller to thing like that.
Now we just need an Apple controller. Come on.
I think they were gonna do it and they decided never mind. Let's just
Oh,
let's
okay.
just like make
Too many out there.
let's just
Rightfully
build
so.
it in to like make so you can use basically anything, which is the smart
Sure.
move, I think. That opens the instead of
Yeah.
having a proprietary controller, like, oh, I already have one, I might as well pay $5 this month. It's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
So.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, well, let's. Apple's gonna be killing it, but you know what? A company that's not killing it is GameStop.
Yes.
Anthony, what is this?
Yes,
This is...
the downfall of brick and mortar video game stores. So this is very similar to actually what's happening with EB Games here, which is funnily enough owned by GameStop.
Hey, so that picture in the article you linked, I've actually
Yeah.
been to that GameStop before.
Weird.
It's a few miles from my house. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
So basically, reading from the article, this is coming from Engadget. Just 2 months after GameStop announced ambitious plans to breathe new life into its stores, the company has announced that between 180 and 200 stores around the world will be closing their doors. I thought that was an autoplay ad then, because one just started, and I'm like, what is that noise? Will be closing their doors for good before the year is out, and more closures are coming. The company's balance sheet has not looked healthy in recent times. Its second quarter global sales decreased 14.3%, making an adjusted net loss of 32 million. I was going to say 302 million there. As such, GameStop's CFO James Bell announced that up to 200 underperforming stores will be closed between now and the end of the year. In the company's recent earnings call, Bell added that while these closures were more opportunistic, we are applying a more definitive analytical approach, including profit levels and sales transferability, that we expect will yield a much larger tranche of closures over the coming 12 to 24 months. And yeah, that's basically it. Apparently, GameStop is having a very hard time performing. It's the same with EB Games as well here, which is like our GameStop in a sense. And also there's another company in New Zealand as well, which is owned by EB Games. I can't remember what they're called. They're also having a hard time. So do we think this is like a trend that is happening to every game store in the world now, where like they're not needed? You know, you go in and you trade in an Xbox One and you get what, $20?
Yeah.
You're better off selling them on eBay or somewhere like that, or like Craigslist or whatever. There is, in my opinion, there is no need for a video game store unless you're buying a new console and you want to go and get that, you know, awesome feeling of buying something at a retail. But even then, you can go to a place like Walmart, or like JB Hi-Fi here.
I think the only thing it really fulfills is like, I don't want to wait in line at this big gigantic store to get my video game, like kind of thing. Like I have to get the guy, open the case. Did I get my game and all that stuff? Whereas you just walk into GameStop, like, give me that one, and I'm like, here you go. And you're out of there in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So it like serves that purpose really well, but I think GameStop just was poorly managed. I think they could have easily avoided this. But they did a lot of silly things like buying like ThinkGeek and you know, just a lot of bad business moves, I think.
They basically tried to become like the Target of video games.
Yeah, and they overexpanded, like, not where I am personally right now, but back at my parents' house, there's like a GameStop, like, you know, there's one here, you could drive 5 miles, you know, the other way, and there's a GameStop. It's like almost
like a McDonald's.
You know, it's like a Starbucks.
On every street
the McDonald's, a Starbucks, you could just point in any direction, and you could probably find a GameStop within, like, you know, no, not just a GameStop, like 3, because where I'm at right now, there's like 3 GameStops that are within like 5 miles of each other.
Yeah, and then
so it's like, you know, if I can't go to this location, I'll go to that location, and then another one. And that's not talking about the east side of El Paso that has like God knows how many GameStops littered around.
Yeah, that's the point. Like you centralize your sales, and you know, cut back on a lot of you know costs. So they've just kind of poorly managed their system, I think.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
sorry.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say was that, technically speaking, just to go off of what we were saying earlier, it's one part for how there's like so many different locations, but then another part is like, we got to bear in mind, we are also technically at the end of a gaming generation coming up here.
Sure.
That's, you know, I will not be surprised at all if we find out like at around this time next year that GameStop suddenly had a bounce back, because suddenly, like, you know, big profits, because everyone wants their PS5s and their and their Xbox, whatever the next one is.
Sure, that makes sense.
You know, mind you that when I make big high-end electronic purchases, I go to Best Buy, because Best Buy allows me to be able to buy $500 consoles at 0 interest for 24 months. So it's like,
I don't know. I think with that GameStop, it's like, I think back to when it's like the Switch launch night or whatever, and I find it's like compulsively, let's like allow pre-order. And I say it's like compulsively. It's just like it was just like, don't get me wrong, it's like I could afford it at the time and whatnot. So it wasn't like a bad decision, but it's just like I decided it's like, you know, it's like Breath of the Wild got hype reviews. Okay, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get a Switch launch night. This is cool. I'm a Zelda fan, whatever. Calling around to like the 3 or 4 GameStops that were within reasonable driving distance for me and whatnot. It's like, oh yeah, sorry, it's just like we won't have any extra stock, and it's just like the only people that'll be waiting in line on pre-orders is just like. But then it's like the first Best Buy I call, which mind you is in the same little shopping plaza as one of the GameStops I call, is be like, oh yeah, we'll have tons of extra stock. Yeah, just like line up around maybe 9 or 10. And it's like we'll open the doors at midnight and get you guys checked out. And it's like, all right, cool. So I went there, waited in line for like 45 minutes, and I walked out with the Switch and Breath of the Wild and some amiibos that night. And it was solid, you know.
Well, that's what I did with the Xbox One when it came out. That I just waited in line at Best Buy, and I was lucky to be one of the few people to be able to get it before they ran out.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's the thing here as well. Like, also here, like you would think a video game store like EB Games, you know, they would have cheaper than a place like say JB Hi-Fi. You go to JB Hi-Fi and they're like $40 cheaper than at EB Games.
Okay.
It's like, what are you doing? You know, you're supposed to be a niche game store, yet your products are more expensive than a place like Harvey Norman or JB Hi-Fi or Kmart or something like that. And it's like,
well,
I've got no idea what
that's literally the only thing. That's like literally the only draw besides ThinkGeek that GameStop has now.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just being able to get the used games. So
I think the used game market's dried up a bit as well.
Yeah.
With like the
the
whole.
joy is of digital gaming, my friend.
Yeah, exactly right. Digital's around. It's so much easier to be like, I'm gonna spend the same amount of money, but now I don't have to leave my house.
Right.
Well, I also permanently own it, so it's like if I delete it, I can just get it whenever again if I.
Oh yeah,
have
and then
to, so.
like
Only
I can
limited by the hard drive space.
Yeah, I can download it the 2 days before. That way, or you just set your download up so that you can actually play it when it's available instead of coming home with this, popping the disc in, waiting. I don't know how long. It depends on your internet, I guess, right?
Update,
yeah, and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I think that GameStop didn't do right, and we're moving as a medium. That's kind of just decided that.
And also it's just like you reach this point of business failure, or like business going under slowly but surely, where it's just like it's kind of a vicious cycle that feeds on itself. Where it's just like GameStop is missing out on sales because it's just like people who like me who maybe wanted to impulsively buy something or whatever, or it's like without prior planning, it's like they don't have any extra stock for that to happen because they can't necessarily afford the extra inventory because there'll be no guarantee they can do it. As opposed to like a larger person like people in Best Buy who's just like they can't afford the loss even if they don't sell out of everything. It's like whatever. But it's like for GameStop.
Well, and even if
like
they run out, they could always order more.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. It's like Best Buy has more purchasing power than GameStop did.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was back in 2017, like March of 2017. It's only gone more downhill in the 2.5 years since then.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So.
And there is one other thing to also mention from this, because it's like, it sounds like 200 is a pretty significant number of stores to close down by all means. But we also kind of have to bear in mind that, at least as far as for the various medias I see, like the latest count for outlets of GameStop is at around 5,830 approximately as far as 2019. So it's like, 200 sounds big, but it's like, how much of the pie is that out of the bigger scheme of things? Which, mind you, of course, falls back to what we were talking about earlier of how, maybe it's better to not have 5 GameStops within a 5-mile radius in close to each other. That if you're close to 1 or 2 of those stores, it's like, okay, big deal. That just means that the GameStop I go to, it's an easier call to make.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, so or not go to it, though, too.
Yeah, so it's like, if they're closing down stuff, that sucks, but then at the same time, it's probably for the better for them because, you don't need to have so many of these locations open, or at least we're now starting to see that having all these locations open isn't exactly helping you out at this point.
Yeah, precisely.
Anthony, what you got?
It's just, has GameStop jumped into the whole kind of loot/check market at all?
No.
Yeah, they had
slowly but surely, maybe, but not quite.
They had a whole used iPhone and iPod.
Oh, the TET.
stuff.
Oh, I misheard you. Yes, the whole TET stuff. Yeah, they tried to, but
I don't think it worked.
I want to buy an iPad. I'm going to an Apple store or something. I don't know. It's like I'm not going to GameStop to buy an iPad. That's not something that's happening.
I remember seeing a game. I was at a mall years ago, probably. They had 2 GameStops in the same mall. One was I want to say a kids GameStop, just for kid video games.
Okay.
Just wild. What are you doing?
Oh, do you want to come to think of it? The mall that's by my house. So it's so on one side of the same street, or it's on one side of the same street here, on say the left side of the street, there's this mall. Yeah. Inside the mall, there's a GameStop. Okay.
Right.
On the other side of the street, there's this plaza, or whatever, this kind of shopping center plaza or whatever, and it's there's a GameStop in there too.
Yeah.
And it's just
crazy.
Close one of those down. We can live without one of those.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm saying that if they were closing down stores, I wouldn't be surprised that, besides the underperforming ones, the ones they would close down would likely be the ones that are within miles of other GameStop. So it's it would make sense in that standpoint.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with EV Games here, their loot section with Mario stuff and t-shirts and all that kind of thing is bigger than their game section. You go into an EB Games and they've got more loot in there than what they do with actual games. And it's great game store you are, you sell more stuff than games.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And mine's pretty small, so there's the walls are covered with games, and there's a couple shelves of whatever.
It varies at my locations.
Yeah, and I think they're missing out on. They have PS3 games, maybe, or
they
Xbox
do.
360.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like
they
your dog,
do.
Tyler. Look at that dog.
That's funny.
That's
He's
adorable.
That's cute. I don't know. But yeah, they gotta open up maybe to having they have retro store, like
Maybe.
you know, which is no, they do, and it's apparently not bad.
Oh,
all
do
the
they?
time.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
saying,
yeah. There's a guy on YouTube, I don't know his name, but he really just orders like retro stuff from them and like tests it out, and like some of it's good, you know, some of it not so much, obviously.
Yeah.
But like he gets pretty high marks usually to like most of the stuff. But like having that stuff in store, I think would go really far, because then you're gonna have someone be like, oh man, a PS1, I used to play that all the time, and there's like buy a PS1 and like a couple games for it or something like that. Crash Bandicoot, or whatever game they happen to love. Cool Borders, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
You know, same with Super Nintendo. Like these things, there's a ton of these things. You just, you know, stocking a few in your store, I think goes a long way as well.
Right. Yeah, and I was about to say, it's just like I want to say earlier at kind of the beginning of this, so like, you know, if we absolutely have to insist on still having a brick and mortar store for games and whatnot, then I would say that just like the ones that will succeed are just are going to be like the more retro stuff. There's this literally within a mile of the GameStop, there's this kind of retro game store called Fallout Games. Name's near me. It's like a smaller business. It's locally owned and whatnot. And it's just like they have lots of cool stuff in there. It's just like, you know, I'd be kind of cool to like hang out, talk to some people that run in or whatever. You know, they have a few SNESs, NESs for sale, Nintendo 64 stuff. A huge library of older games. I check in there like once a week to see if they have a DS copy of Trauma Center Under the Knife 2, because I lost mine and I'm trying to find it. But yeah.
I think this opens up a bigger thing for, like you said, smaller businesses like that are maybe not retro based, but they can build a community. Like have a game night, have a fighting game tournament, have a Magic tournament, have fun things at your establishment that like a GameStop maybe tried a couple of times, but not.
Question.
Some of the smaller stores.
What's up, Anthony?
Has Taylor's camera gone weird for anybody else?
No.
It's fine.
No.
On mine.
Really?
Yeah, you're fine.
I haven't really
Wait
noticed.
a second.
This sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
How? Look at this. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
Go berserk.
I think what could be cool is that if you were to go ahead to do something like, say, for example, you know, because some of the
What just happened?
Yeah, there
something
we
weird
go.
happened there, but anyway.
That's better.
You know, it's like game boards or stuff like that. You know, like some locations they have retro games, but then they have like board games or like places where you play card games or your Dungeons and Dragons or stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what GameStop could be planning on doing. You know, for me, I kind of wish that they actually follow through with the whole $60 unlimited used game rental subscription. That feels like that would have been
and that's something
a
that
good idea if they had done it, but for some reason they never did.
That's something that EB's doing as well. EB Games, they're doing like a it's like kind of like an insurance thing, but it's like you pay
$3 to go ahead and get a year's protection.
No. They've been doing that for years, but it's like you pay like $40 a year, I think it is, and all your consoles are covered, everything's covered. If your power goes out or whatever, then blah blah blah. Yeah, bricks it, then whatever. And they also do something where, like, if you have a certain model, then they automatically, like, you're kind of trading your old one and you don't have to pay any more for, like, a newer version of it kind of thing. So I feel like EB is kind of, you know, changing things enough, and there's not, like, in the Gold Coast in, like, a 40-kilometer region with, like, 50 towns or whatever. It's like a city area. There's, like, 4 EB games. So it's not... They haven't overstimulated themselves here in a sense. They haven't gone overboard. So I don't know. It seems like a GameStop issue to me. Even though EB's kind of died recently, but
I don't know. That does.
I mean, we'll see what happens with GameStop, but honestly, at this point, they need to be doing more than what they are doing, because, like what was said earlier, the choices they made up to this point have been very poor choices, and therefore we're in this situation where it looks like that GameStop is dying. But really, it's more of a slow bleed than anything. That's not like that GameStop is going to be dead this time next year.
Right.
Well, I mean, they've done a lot in terms of, like, not too long ago, they got rid of a lot of corporate people. They laid off, like, nearly half of the maybe half of the editorial.
Well, a good chunk of the Game Informer staff. We could just sadly say that much.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Didn't they own Loot Crate as well?
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. They did.
Oh, Loot Crate's gone.
Yeah.
That folded not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Maybe couple weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that they need to do right now because they're just at a point to where they're just free falling at this point. And if they don't do something soon, they are going to eventually fall.
And
I just don't exactly know what they're going to do to fix this, essentially.
Yeah.
Game Informer Australia is fully gone.
Okay.
Fully?
Yeah.
Fully gone.
Yeah, I'm sure
Way
they're
down.
trying to figure that out right now, to be honest.
With
Yeah.
that
Really,
magazines,
like,
we're getting...
just like, let's
Yeah, and
just
hopefully
like,
they'll figure it out sooner than later.
yeah.
I think it's open. This is the possibility for mom and pop shops to swoop in
Right.
and create a community in an area,
Right.
for gaming.
Some of them already are, or at least.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But more so to like not
a
just
more higher
people-
end.
not just like people like us who are really into the games, but like, hey, like have a tournament during the day or something where like, people come and see these people having fun. And like, oh, this is cool. Like
GameStop Saturday activities.
Yeah.
well, I remember like I've gone to some GameStops and like, hey, we're having like a tournament here. If you beat the guy who thought he was really good, you could get like a gift card or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And maybe this manager just fronted this himself, like it's a store thing probably, right? So like stuff like that, just like people that it's such a corporation that like GameStop is so lifeless, like that's like why you don't go there almost all the time. It's like, oh, like I could go to the internet and buy my game and have the same exact experience, right?
I would argue it might have a better experience because you don't have like Amazon doesn't try and sell you a credit card every time you go in there,
Exactly. I have two fun GameStop experiences. One was a long time ago when Street Fighter 4 came out, and like I was like buying another Street Fighter game because, oh, you play 4? I'm like, yeah, I dabble. Okay. And we played in a little kiosk. And
Square up.
Yeah. I won, but that's not the point. But yeah, like that was like a fun thing, right? Like that's something that you should like engage with your customers, but I don't think it ever happens.
Yeah.
And then like 2 was not too long ago. I was trying to buy a game there a couple years ago, and my debit card or whatever was like, the chip has been like real funky.
Yeah.
He doesn't read. Like it doesn't read the chip. And the guy was like, oh, like trying to upsell me like the Game Informer subscription. And I was like, if you can get my card to work, I will buy it. And the guy was like, no way. And I was like, way. He's like, okay. He's like, he's like getting in there, like polishing it up. Didn't work. And I was like, part of me was like, I should have just bought the dang subscription because I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Andrew, you were talking about this a little bit earlier, but just like, I don't know, I feel like all around just kind of game shop would do pretty well. Like get out a decently bid space or whatever, sell video games like modern stuff, maybe dip into retro a little bit, but then also do like sell Magic the Gathering, sell some Warhammer stuff, maybe some D&D, and then I don't know, it's like Fridays, the bid like Magic event for Fridays is FNM, Friday Night Magic. Run that.
Or the Adventurers Guild or whatever Dungeons and Dragons has. That's the official affiliate with, for people who want to play Dungeons and Dragons for a couple of hours.
Run that one day.
Plenty of options that they have.
Do fighting game tournaments or something, Smash tournament, I don't know, whatever. Just like
fighting game tournaments,
get people
game
into your store at least. That's the thing. It's like make it exciting to go to your store.
That was the thing with like EB like our local EB Games back in like a country town that they used to live in. It had 2 managers, and they were absolutely fantastic. Like they used to do all this, tournaments and like, hey, Halo's coming out soon. Like in a couple of days, do you want to play it early? Yeah. We've got copies. We'll chuck one in and play a couple of hours in it. This and that and everything else. They swapped manage because those 2 left or something or other.
Yeah.
And then it just turned into a complete corporation. You couldn't do anything. Yeah. It was just no fun, no tournaments, no nothing. And it's like, why do I even bother coming here anymore? I might as well just buy something off eBay or Amazon or whatever.
Right.
They need more people who are going to do stuff like that. Like, they need to do better, maybe employment drives or something. I don't know. Get better managers in there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... But like I said, like every games that I've been to in the last, most of the time, is just like such a shell of like what you would want from a game store.
Precisely.
Like I don't know. I'm not really one to like hey, I want to buddy up and play with everybody. But like I would go to a local tournament if it was a good time.
Yeah.
And close by, I would try it out.
Maybe like have a pizza buy-in too. Like
yeah.
Or
pair up with Domino's or something once every so often.
Pair up with the local business, man. Like, hey, like like
go to Little Caesars, pick up a few pizzas, have fun.
Get a food truck to come by and hang out in front. Like stuff like that.
Perfect.
Why don't they have like an area with like what are they called? like simulation, like simulators or something like
VR
I don't know.
or whatever. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, like VR is or whatever.
Test out VR stuff. Yeah.
Precisely.
It's just like
Break up the PlayStation VR and let people play that.
yeah, in a mall near me, there's a VR arcade. Literally, all they do is just like
I've heard about that.
yeah, it's just like game
Yeah,
booths
those are
and a
fun.
VR and like Oculus or Vive. Yeah.
We just got one in Brisbane here, and it was like a
really?
radical thing, and it's like, test out this, it's so cool, and it's like, this has been in America for 20 years, what are you talking about?
I'm sure these exist by me, I just never sought one out.
Okay.
And it was like, world first, this, that, everything else, and it's like, this is, what?
All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, GameStop shelved its former self. I don't know. They need to do some reinvention. Like they need to.
Precisely.
They need to spice
Exactly,
things up.
yeah.
They need to read some Cosmopolitan articles, spice up their bedroom life. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway,
Get on it.
you guys. I'm gonna take you guys back to the long yesteryear of 2017. Okay. Call of Duty World War II was all the rage. Okay.
That 2 years ago, wow.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm getting too old.
Player, 19 years old at the time, named Casey Viner. He lost a $150 on a wager he made against someone online playing Call of Duty World War II. Okay.
It's $150, right?
No, that's
$1.50. $1.50.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, what? Okay, who cares? It's $1.50, whatever.
All right. And so
Yeah, just wait for the punchline.
he was so mad that he lost us $1.50. Okay. That he called
no.
a notorious swatter in LA named Tyler Barris and said, hey, I want you to SWAT this person. And then Casey gave his opponent's vehicle, like details and whatnot. So Tyler Barris complied, but the address that Barris gave was incorrect. It was off by a number or two. And so the result is that this story was pretty huge when it like first happened and everything. I don't know if you guys remember this far back, but it was just like basically Barris called the police and said that at this particular house, a SWAT team to show up, that multiple homicide had taken place. So you know, it's like the police are already going to be on guard when it comes to that and everything. And so
He drenched himself in gasoline and he's gonna blow himself up with me.
I don't know what
If I recall that part correctly.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact story was, but anyway, it's just like, well, it turns out it's like Viner gave police the wrong address on accident, and so police came in and accidentally, or I say accidentally because it was the wrong guy, and I don't know if they intended to kill him or not. I don't know those exact details, but anyway, the SWAT team shot and killed the man who was residence. It was not the intended target, so to speak. As a result, Barris, who was the guy who actually placed the SWAT call, got arrested, and then Casey Viner, who asked Barris to
the
place
guy
the
who
call,
lost the money.
yeah, also got arrested as well. And although I think this was last year or so, Barris, that I actually did the call, got sentenced to 20 years in prison. For doing this. Viner recently got sentenced to 15 months in prison. So, yeah, I don't know. I personally think, and the reason why I'm using names is because litigation is over, sentencing has happened, there's no risk of defamation here, this all happened, these have been proven guilty. Anyway, so I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think the sentence is too harsh, too little? I don't know.
I think
Anthony?
I think it kind of should have been the other way around.
There's a lot I think about this, but
Well, let me go ahead and go first because I did talk about this quite a bit a while back ago, back when it first happened.
Yeah.
And hearing that the guy only got 15 months, honestly, I would say he got off easy.
Okay, one of the guys got 15 months. One of the guys got
That's what I'm saying. The
Okay,
guy,
yeah.
because the guy who actually did the SWAT and him gained 20 years, that he definitely got it exactly how he should have, of course.
Yeah.
But the other guy, I feel like he is kind of an accomplice to this, and I kind of feel like that 15 months feels like a slap on the wrist, honestly.
Oh, wait,
And it
hold
feels
on.
like that he should have gotten a few more years stacked on top of the 15 months, honestly.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Viner is also restricted from playing online games for 2 years past his sentence.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
If it wasn't for the guy who asked for for the swatting to happen, the other guy wouldn't be dead, would he?
No.
So he should have got at least like 15 years or something because he's killed someone. He's gone out and he's caused someone to die. So,
I mean, yeah, this
At
is the
the-
larger issue. I don't need to really want to dive into is the fact that the police decided to shoot somebody. Like,
Well,
with
here's the thing you have to bear in mind here,
very
because
little
this is the reason
information.
why I wanted to say something during Tyler's explanation.
Mhm.
The explanation that was given was that he killed multiple people, he's threatened to blow me up with him, and when the guy was coming out to surrender or be like, please don't, shoot or kill me or whatever, how the hell are the SWAT people supposed to know that if the description was given that this guy is going to kill himself at any given moment and take me with him?
because
It's like,
it's their
you
job.
have like
I don't know. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
without going down
It's
this
their
path,
job.
without going down
But
this
this guy
path.
is a
Hey,
dangerous
stop.
person.
Without going down this
Sorry.
path too hard, it's just like the details of the specific police case surrounding it and everything, or it's like the police actions are left somewhat vague. All we do kind of, it basically comes down to, it basically comes down to just like how do you view the other guy that called the other guy, like the original perpetrator, so to speak. It's like, do we view him as like an accessory to what ended up being manslaughter? Or...
yes.
Okay. Okay.
In my opinion, yes.
That's what it would be most likely, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
kind of the thing here, that he helped with the essential killing, even if that was never the intention. But the thing though is that for swatting, that when you swat someone, you're telling the swatter people that this guy is a very dangerous person and he's gonna kill people. So it's like SWAT people who are going in, they don't know that this is a prank, obviously.
I don't want to. No, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into the police situation around it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So,
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Viner.
Like I said, I
was,
get kind of emotional on this topic.
Viner was formally charged. The guy who got sentenced to 15 months was formally charged with felony charges of conspiracy and obstruction of justice. And he pled guilty to those in the hopes of getting a reduced sentence.
Maybe he got off light because he pled guilty, perhaps?
That would
Yeah,
probably
no.
be
If that's the case, then
Like kind of a plea deal or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would make more sense.
Yeah.
And then Barris faced 51 federal charges, also including conspiracy, among many others.
Wow, how do you
Yeah, the guy who actually
51 charges?
made the call, and he was the one who got 20 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably because they linked him to other ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
sure.
like,
Well, yeah, no,
he was supposed to be,
faithfulness. He did
he was
so many
good at
swaps.
this. He was good at this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What a thing to put on your resume. And SWAT.
Yeah.
Will SWAT.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
make-
swap.
For cash.
Is it what section of eBay do I go to for this? You know, or Craigslist, whatever. It's
The
like
dark web.
Yeah,
a
it's like
4chan of sorts. Who knows?
yeah.
You would think, I don't know, like if he's calling, I guess it depends who he's calling, like which 911 he's calling or wherever, depending on where the guy's located. You would think they would have like maybe a voice profile on him or something to see maybe this guy's been calling so many times. Maybe there's something a little bit iffy on this.
I'm sure there's
Maybe.
ways to cover things up.
I'm sure he would have used a mask for the voice.
Sure.
Yeah. Plus,
that
it's just
and
like
phone, like the number blocker and all that
Yeah.
IP,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
there are easy ways to hide this whole thing. That's the thing.
Or just a mix that
Yeah,
just
no, anyone could do it, honestly,
puts you on a local,
to conceal your number if you really
Yeah.
wanted to.
or change it to appear as a local number. You know,
Mhm.
because I'm sure he's not local to any of the
Well, it's
stuff.
like spam calls on your cell phone that try to make it look local. That's like, anyone
Yes,
can-
yes, exactly, right.
Yeah.
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 But it's a shame. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's good
Never
that
should have happened in
that
the first
situation.
place.
No,
No.
it never should have happened. It's good. It's good that these people are at least getting some kind of comeuppance, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not it's long enough or too long, whether or not it's long enough, I think we can agree that something needs to be done.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
that's good.
Well, the only hope that I have is that, it either puts an end to this, stupid practice, or at least, at the very least, makes people think twice before actually trying to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
I
Because-
think that's probably why he got so much time. Is that like, hey, look, like we're not messing around. You get
Yeah.
caught on this stuff, like you're done, pretty much, right?
Yeah, someone had to be
Yeah,
made
no,
an
and
example
that's how
of
it
it, you know?
should be in this case.
Like
Yeah,
someone
no,
had
I
to be
think-
the example so that this doesn't
Yeah,
something
exactly.
happen.
There
Yeah.
needs to be an example. This is like the first real
Yeah.
arrest, I think, for this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, someone got killed from this. The first kill, mind you. All the other times, it's like, oh, it was a prank, bro. Ha ha ha. Say hi to the SWAT for me.
I feel like there was some injuries at least.
Yeah, it's like there would be injuries, but
Yeah.
this was certainly the highest profile like swatting case because someone actually died. Yeah, as opposed to.
Didn't one guy get bashed up or something a while
Yeah.
ago?
Like
he died.
there was a flashbang
people get slammed on the
involved
table.
Yeah.
at
No, I
one
remember
point.
the flashbang story. Yeah.
I think there was a
Wow.
flashbang in a crib or something at one point.
Yeah.
When like they got lucky because the baby happened to not be in a crib.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, there's some stuff that can happen with this, so don't do that, please.
Yeah. Don't swat. Have there been any like swatting cases this past year or so? I don't.
Not that
remember
I've
hearing
made
anything. I
mainstream.
thought this whole thing kind of
Yeah,
died down.
no, I think that after
Oh
this
no, there
case,
was. I was.
swatting
There was
kind of like dropped down to a really small
Oh, was there?
number.
Okay.
Yeah, I read on that article there was someone from some Fortnite person got swatted.
Oh, the guy who won the tournament, he got
Earlier,
swatted.
okay,
That's
earlier this
right.
year,
Yeah.
Fortnite World Cup winner Kyle Buka
Yeah.
Diersdorf was swatted while live on Twitch. Okay.
Yeah, this was August, so
Still a thing.
Yeah, but that's like the last time anyone's heard of swatting outside of the other story that we were talking about, though. Yeah,
Seems
that's
to-
right.
yeah.
Wasn't
Forgot
he
about that one.
Australian?
Might be, I don't know.
Let's see here. I think.
What's his name?
Oh wait, where are we? Kyle Geisdorf.
Yeah, Diersdorf.
Name.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. Let's see. I don't know. It doesn't really say where he
This is American.
Okay.
is an American. That,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Because there's one kid here who was like 19 or something, and it was like because it's just random, but because the news is always like anti-Fortnite all the time and like it should be banned and this and that and everything else.
Hmm.
This kid won like 3 million or something for winning something or other,
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
the
like,
Fortnite
"Oh,
World Cup.
Yeah,
Fortnite's
he's
a
out
great
of,
way to make money."
Yeah, no, he's out of Pennsylvania. That's what it is.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
I found his Twitter. So yeah, he's out of Pennsylvania.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
You
Alright.
see how easy it is to find information on people nowadays?
Right?
Well, that's open
Scary.
information that people
Yeah.
are putting themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not. I mean, yeah.
I don't know, I'd say it's like if you become any sort of like a high level streamer or whatever, or it's just like any sort of high level, it's like a internet
address.
figure or whatever. It's
Any
like
public figure. Yeah.
PO bots your stuff.
Precisely. Yeah.
VPN if you're streaming often, honestly, because I mean that's how the location is traced. Is like people just check the IP connected to like the Twitch server or whatever and get the location off that. So
Sure.
See, but I don't know why, but mine like throws me in Melbourne or something weirdly. I like whenever I look up my IP, it always is like diverted somewhere else,
okay,
That's good.
which is
Well, that's
strange.
good. So that no one knows where you live.
it's good. It's good.
Precisely.
All right.
Your Australian government is actually helping you.
Let's
Good job.
let's talk about a little bit. End on a happier note here. Nintendo
Yes, please.
Ring Fit Adventure. We
Oh,
talked about
Yes!
the teaser trailer for this last week when Ethan was on the podcast. I don't know. I was partially right in what it would be, although I wasn't expecting like fighting monsters by doing like crunches or anything. But whatever.
You gotta do yoga
I don't know.
poses.
Yeah.
Yoga poses.
Yeah, it's like full reveal, ringfitadventure.nintendo.com to see everything. What do you guys think?
I haven't seen the new trailer.
Okay.
It is almost as great as the game that's coming out next week, in my opinion.
Okay.
Let's have a
No,
look.
but in all seriousness, I kind of find it funny how it's like, out of all the things we thought it was going to be, it actually turns out that it's a fitness adventure game
Yeah.
of sorts.
7 minutes.
I don't know. We were right
Like-
about the fitness part, but the adventure part that was new.
But it just seems funny because it's like if WarioWare was in charge of making some kind of fitness game to get people to do exercises or something. That's what this feels like, especially with your antagonist being some kind of bodybuilding dragon of sorts in a tank top.
Yeah, it's like an RPG or something, right? Like it's,
Yeah, I
no,
don't
it's an
know.
RPG, and I don't know.
Or
This
it's
seems so
essential
bizarre
to
to me as a concept, and it's like, you know what? I can't help but feel like I need to go out and buy this when it comes out because it's so hilarious.
I don't know. I think this is.
I don't
kinda
know.
Well, I
cool.
mean, that's just me, but
I
you
think
know
this is
that, and
kinda
also
cool.
I've been kind of taking my health and fitness a bit seriously, so it's like, you know what? I'm willing to give this a shot just for the hell of it.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know. I like this, although I was kind of expecting more like a direct like Wii Fit sort of thing, closer to that. But this works too. This works too.
I don't know. A lot of people were saying that the two people during the presentation were some of the most creepiest people that that have ever been on the internet. It's like the guys. I mean, a lot of people were saying like the guy was like, he's like 2 steps away from going to being like that guy from Psycho.
Bodybuilding dragon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, it's releasing October 18th. You can pre-order now. US $80, and you get the game, the Blade Strap, and the Ring Con, which is like that little empty
that's
ring.
such a bad name.
I know, right?
They had to name it something.
I was hoping
so.
like the Fit Con or something like that, you know. But
I
anyway,
forgot about the whole con.
Yeah, it's a con because
Oh
the
my
Joy-Con.
gosh.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
stupid.
everything Nintendo's a
Con,
con, okay? What? Okay, what is it with Nintendo and overpricing everything? Seriously,
I mean,
I don't know.
very
This
expensive.
is
When it's not cardboard.
okay. Well, it's like it's $20 more
Still
than
that,
an
even
actual
that
game,
is.
though. It's $20 more than.
and it comes with a game.
Yeah, it's like 20.
Yeah, but it's like it's kind of like a 1-2 switch kind of
It's
game,
probably. Yeah.
which is like
Well,
worth.
like I said, it's
$30.
WarioWare if they need a fitness game. That's kind of what it is.
I thought it was.
I think that's more of
I
like
don't know,
a
it
Wii
feels a
Fit,
bit
but like
overpriced.
Wii Fit, but like for RPG nerds. I don't know. You know.
Well, I mean, part of me is kind of hoping that if this is supposed to be a fitness thing by Nintendo, that means that at E3 2020 we're going to get a Switch Fit announcement and the return of the Switch Board Con.
Yes.
Or I
the
don't know,
board
something
con.
like that.
Yeah, the board
Yes,
con, where it's just
it's
like, you have two.
You have the Ring Con,
yeah.
and now you have the Board
Oh
Con.
no.
Con.
I know.
You have two
Oh
little.
no, this is a really good article I just read.
What is
The
it?
Verge. Hold on. I'm gonna quote unquote. Ring Fit Adventure is the first fitness-focused game I've ever played with an actual story. You play as a hero dressed like a gym rat, and you partner up with a sentient ring named Ring to fight off an incredibly swole purple dragon in a leotard.
God, 10 out of 10.
I love it.
This is
And then
incredible.
there's a picture of this said. Oh, can I just drag?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
the
a,
two people in this trailer are creepy as hell.
Yeah,
This
I
is
know.
Yeah, no. If you
Buff
watch it, it's like you cannot look at
dragon.
those two people
Oh.
talking.
A
without
bodybuilding dragon. Get it right, Andrew. Come
He's
on.
a bodybuilding dragon. Jeez, Louise, dude.
It seems
Literally,
like
they
also, like,
said he's a
tracks
bodybuilding
your
dragon.
fitness too. I don't know. Oh wow.
I don't like
okay.
this.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, everything about this is just hilarious to me. With just how everything is just put together, alongside with the two most craziest people you possibly could
I know.
put with. No offense to
Like-
them, of course, but it's like, yeah, initial.
This is
impressions-
on like Yakuza 7 levels of weird, but instead I have to buy a dumb ring and like play a bad game instead. So.
Oh come on. It's I don't know.
What in what world will this game be
$50
good?
What's your opinion of
$30.
Wii Fit? What's your opinion of Wii Fit?
I'm not. I was an athlete for a very long time, so Wii Fit was not at all on my radar.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, never. Okay,
Fair
then
enough.
this definitely isn't for you, then, Andrew.
No,
This
Wii
definitely
Fit
isn't
was
for you.
as someone who was a gymnast for a very long time.
Yeah, this.
And
yeah.
was working out all the time. I did not want to work out when I played my video games.
Yeah.
God, that picture is just hysterical.
Yeah, that's the picture I was trying to get there. It's really good.
A
Just-
purple swirl dragon.
Oh yeah.
Purple
New,
Swirl
like a
Dragon.
new avatar like material right there.
Okay, Nintendo.
Jeez.
You know what? Okay.
It's
Okay.
whatever.
And there's your gym rat.
Yeah, that's
The way
about
the
Return.
bird describes it.
There's
It's
some
like the gym rat looking
Oh.
protagonist. Are you really? Okay.
Hey,
There's
she's
a-
even wearing a headband.
Oh hell yeah! That's
There's
it
a
now.
peak.
They're serious.
I don't like these ball things.
Why has she got fire for hair?
I think that's what she's throwing at the said balls. I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening. I don't like it.
Like
That's
I
the
said,
ring?
this
No,
is
no,
just
no, no, no,
hysterical.
no,
I
no,
love
no,
it.
no.
It's the perfect amount of insanity that
Oh,
just
no,
makes
I
me want to
see.
say,
The hair
yes,
is like kind
okay,
of
fine, let's do it.
connecting to the
Yeah.
fire.
Cool.
And
I
then
feel
there's
so
a-
much better now. Thank you, Tyler.
Purple swirl
Just
dragon
wanted
coming
to
at
feel
ya.
better.
Yeah.
I hate it all.
Hey, it's even got a heart rate monitor.
Video
Yeah.
games is now dead. Hi, Andrew.
Yeah, video games are bad. I take it back.
I don't want to be a gamer anymore. Oh man. This is the
I know
thing.
she does have
this
weird
makes me
fire
want
hair.
to
You're
never
right.
start
Yeah.
working out. I'll become a purple dragon
Wait,
myself.
wait.
Life
Breathe
goals.
out through your nose slowly.
Life goals is to become as swole as the purple dragon. Anyway,
Purple swirl dragon.
Yeah,
wearing the
Anthony.
Heck yeah.
Anthony, what games are releasing this next week?
Quite a lot, actually. So starting off on
Game of the Year of 2019 is going to be one of them. And I will share
yeah,
with you.
September 16th, we have Naughty Crawl coming to PC. Naughty Crawl 20,000 Atmospheres. Weird name, cool. Jet Cave Adventure is going to Switch on September 17th. Session, a lot of people are quite excited for this, is going to Steam Early Access and Xbox Game Preview on September 17th as well. That is only the early access version of it, though.
It's like the Skate 4 that we'll never get.
Precisely. AI, the Somnium Files, is going to PC, PS4, and Switch on September 17th as well. Dayman 1998 is going to PC on September 17th as well. Rebel Cops is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, also on September 17th. Groundhog Day, oh dear, Like Father, Like Son, is going to PSVR, Rift, and Vive.
Amazing.
That's VR.
Amazing. Weird and cool. I don't know about that one. It's interesting.
Also on September 17th. Devil's Hunt is coming to PC on September 17th as well. Lego Jurassic World is going to Switch on September 17th. Castle Crashers Remastered is going to Switch on September 17th. Truck Driver, great name, is going to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on September 17th. November 11th for PC. Another great name, Exorcise the Demons, apparently. Going to PC on September 18th.
In this one, you fight against a really buff, like, Dracula demon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Exercise, yeah.
Trailmakers official launch is going to PC and Xbox One on September 18th. Little Misfortune is going to PC on September 18th as well. Who asked for this? Sega Mega Drive / Genesis Mini console launch is coming on September 19th for North America.
Kind of looks cool, actually. I'm kind of into it.
And October 4th for EU.
But the Swole Dragon is where you draw the line, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a Sega Genesis when I was a child. I still have that Genesis. It just doesn't work.
Rip.
Trailmaker, I already read that. Police Stories is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September 19th as well. Crying Sons is going to PC on September 19th. What the heck? Mutaz something is going to PC, PS4, and PC and PS4 on September the 19th. Train Simulator 2020 is going to PC on September 19th as well. Okay. Inferno 2 is going to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Switch on September 19th. Grid Autosport, this is this new grid game, I think, which is coming to Switch on September 19th. Apple Arcade service launch is coming on September 19th. We've already discussed that. Overland is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September 19th as well. PlanetSide Arena Steam Early Access is coming on September 19th. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is going to Switch on September 20th. That's quite a big one. Trax is going to Xbox One on September 20th. Zenith is going to Switch on September 20th. Azure Reflections is going to PC on September 20th as well. Untitled Goose Game.
Yes!
Best game of the year.
There you go. Untitled Goose Game. It's finally coming.
It's going to PC and Switch on September 20th. Apparently. What even is this?
It is a game that you play as a goose and you harass people.
It's like a stealthy game.
So it's like Goat Simulator.
No,
yes,
no, it's different.
No, it's much more tame than that. But
it's like
it's
finally
time to haunt.
Yeah. It's like you're stealing this guy's keys, then to steal the keys to distract him with something, and then like it's
the whole time.
It's just really weird. Yeah, it's just a weird.
Yeah, no, it's a really weird game, but it's like you just play as a goose and you just harass people. That's the game, and it's like, oh my god, this is great, and I'm gonna be getting it for
Does this cost money?
Or
yeah,
it's gonna be $20.
Ooh, that's steep.
It's like $40 for us. Reign of Reflections Chapter 1 is going to PC on September 20th. And Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch Remastered is going to PC and PS4 on September 20th. And also for Switch, I don't know why they got two titles, but anyway. So it's not the remastered version. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch is going to Switch on September 20th. Nintendo Switch Lite console launch is coming also on September 20th. The Sojourn is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on September 20th as well. And Niflheim is going to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September 20th. And that's it for this week.
Damn.
I'm sure I've read that right.
Yeah,
quite a lot.
Yeah, season's starting to pick
Can't
up
talk
here.
anymore. Yeah.
All right, so... what's up?
Oh, I forgot to mention a game I played today.
Oh, what is it?
Contra Rogue Corps.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
No.
It's not very good. It's there's a demo on minutes long. It reminds me a lot of that like zombie dual stick shooter game. I can't remember what it's called. That was on PS3.
Okay.
But it's bad because.
Oh, like iZombie?
No, it's Dead Zone, Dead
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
I don't know what
Twin
it's
stick shooter,
called.
right?
Dead by Daylight? No, I don't know.
No, it's like a twin stick shooter.
Yeah.
That's what this game is, but like, it's bad. Like I was like shooting and then like a zombie covered up my entire screen. I'm like, why would that ever happen?
Because the camera got in the way. Okay. That's all right.
No. This is like a gameplay thing. Like if you explode the zombie, it like goes into the camera, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style. But like it's
That's
like, wait,
annoying.
why? There's
annoying.
a lot of things going on right now. Like I don't want to be blinded by this
Just don't
stupid thing.
explode the zombie then.
And then like the camera's shifting, and then they're just cursing with like terrible voice acting. So maybe this game will be good. I take it all back.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of weird, fun.
Doesn't have Danny DeVito in it, so it's not good.
But there is a
Who's
panda
thinking
that
on
shoots
top of
people,
the
so
wall?
Cool.
yeah.
Good to know.
You like suplex a missile into the ground. That part was pretty fun.
Dollar.
Good to know.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
if you do like a bomb, he just like jumps up and like suplexes. Yeah. So like I said, maybe this game will be good. I take it all.
I think, I don't know, it's like, that's one of those games where just like you play when under the influence of
Oh
something.
sure.
Yeah.
I actually came up with a good theory. I probably will buy this. If they have like Contra music
Okay.
in that game,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna
No.
buy it
Stop.
for the music.
No.
I know. I'm a
No.
horrible human.
Okay.
I know.
All right, Mike, where can people find you on Twitter?
Well, if you want to follow my special brand of insanity, if you were so brave enough to do so, I'm at MAS8705 on Twitter. Yeah, I just respond to random things I see online. Otherwise, if there's something that stands out to me, I'll be sure to share it. Otherwise, yeah, if you want to find me, I'll be over there.
Okay. Cool. Anthony?
I don't really use Twitter at all. I am at SameAntman19 on there. If you want to head on over and follow me, you are more than welcome to. I am mainly doing the site's social media and stuff. So
All right.
find me if you will.
Andrew?
You can find me at Duronsky, DRONSKI, on all social media platforms.
Awesome.
Cool.
You can find me at Infurious Elecon, that is at INFERIUSELLECON on Twitter. Tweet about all sorts of things. All right, so after this 2.5 hour whew.
Time for bed. No.
Yeah, no. Right? No.
I think I had
yeah,
those
that-
2 coffees.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's gonna wrap episode 87. We will be back same time next week on Mitzer. Yeah, and then probably some streams throughout the week.
Cool.
I might stream some Minecraft throughout the week. I don't know what's going on, but like on my server, I've been like recreating like Japanese historical sites, and it's pretty cool. They're like landmarks.
Cool.
So yeah,
Good idea.
I'm almost finished with Heimaji Castle. I just need to do the interior, and
Cool.
so yeah.
I
Anyway.
may even stream some Ark if I find it interesting enough.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Have you
Right on.
Never mind. Anyway,
Have I what?
I don't know. The whole like defecating mechanic in Ark, is that still a thing? Like dinosaur fertilizer?
Can you poop?
I presume so, because it's a natural human ability. So
No, I mean
sure,
like
why
you can make the dinosaurs poop to make fertilizer.
okay, probably. I don't
Okay.
know. I haven't played it.
Okay, I mean I haven't played it since that game came out. Anyway. Alright, so yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys the next time.
Goodbye.